me ho nti obi antena ho enka say national executive bin Kofi and I say Dr. Bawumia ntinya winiti on Kofi but me ho say newspapers no a report say na me kenka che on say ora maso Kofi Juma a oye former Gihok MD and Nana Akufo-Addo say MPP national executive nyina Kofi because of Nkugodia ebaye no enti na isi eto de bia se unya empanifo se orama so Kofi Juma no na omo kasa sa no a eya na nipa emanipa se
Smart Gang update
emanipa se pa because MPP party no a elusuye no eno ti ye bi se enkrofo de sumbo ebo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia se ono enema MPP elusuye a na ebu afu pa because orama so Kofi Juma MPP defeat na buy no we don't free we nye we are one of the major elements, major causes of the MPP defeat. You know why? Gihok MPP ba power edora Master Kofi Juma echo Gihok no you say transformation aba you say na changes e koso na e kofem na enkrofo shase kan say ora Kofi Juma kra no na ontiapo ntimi nkwa adwuma enti ankayama ne ntranchen na obi ento adwuma no so. In fact, there was even a policy by government say obi a wanya 60 years bia no enso de company ebesa no sa policy no enema Henry Kabra Kokofu ekofie sa policy no enema Edward Boatin ekofie sa policy no enema Ambrosere no ene enipa bi atse nyina ekofie because no mo 60 years but eka Kofi Juma ewo office na Kofi Juma ntiapo obi a hu se na ora maso Kofi Juma na oyare enti ontimi nkwa adwuma enti Gihok taking those dive and ekofem but still not war. So the propaganda is that not say any mampani timi nyinadi and ono ansu so yare a ono so ntimi nkwa adwuma but not there are people are omo competent enough and on betimi occupy some position no and deliver no mo dey aboa MPP aban let me akoso but Kofi Juma kept that position for himself. He kept that position. In fact, the former Ashanti regional organizer your friend said Ejenim Boatin a former Ashanti regional organizer 2020 elections Ejenim Boatin Yamani role to play in the Ashanti region for the campaign. Ejenim Boatin ko Kumase ekoye campaign edi bebo so me so oba ye no na ora Kofi Juma am an indefinite suspension. Mutiani yo ora Ejenim Boatin Daniel Ejenim Boatin oya former Ashanti regional organizer ye beto aba no NPP
Smart Gang
party no
update
ema na dwuma so nkoye wa Asante mantemu okoye sa dwuma no eto aba wie ye oba na staff ogi ho oba ye no na ora Kofi Juma ama no am suspend no indefinitely. It is indefinite suspension no ya lieutenant NPP defeat power. But today ora Kofi Juma etwa no ho na o accuse MPP national executive say Kofi. They should stop doing those things because they are part of the reasons here MPP echo position. Ora Kofi Juma why mayor why MP why Kofi no asa fagi o car ko na no be enye oba bi ase na e be che say wa fagi o car say wato na wan to gi o car dey be see wan to gi o car e dien ene be see ento munya sa na ma no nti obi antena ho enka say national executive bin Kofi and I say Dr. Bawumia ntinya winiti on Kofi ne ekoso nyina party for ni obia party for no feel say wan nyina adwuma yi so Kofi no party for ni mo edi adwuma share mo nsa no kwa mo fa so bo mo bra nyina party for ni enombe tuo bia adwuma ka sene na adwuma etie national executive so hoyi na oyi adwuma omunim na wanya adwuma omunim because party for no omo ti omo hwe. It doesn't lie in the mouth of Kofi Juma na until who can and who will go home or who should go home. The party will determine by itself, and the party will determine itself. Ni awaye adwuma no party for no bebo na baso, ni awaye adwuma no party for no emana Kofi. Simple as that. Tomunya sa ansem ne kan na omunya se omo hye emabu na bufu ama emabu no so akeka nsem bi ebeka so mu di mpanifo atem andra budget ekoso ratu forcing edi ensem bi etudwa na anopai me pese me no isi budget no emudie ebepe bre ya kinkan ni nyina na awuram postmortem ni nyina andra aka covid-19 levy beko aban pa about 357 million or so edi akwa yesay wa the budget
dey compare ko Japan say die victory no nya ben no esan say Dr. Hammond Bawumia e kamia ko say one ne wife we bi o mbekọ akotentam dia no na amanfo obo mututu a te say nei Samira Bawumia kokopie mu obosomtwe no yakobo o ma we ma te say doctor you were free e kra de na opa ba bia fa na abusuan kan dey compare ko Japan revelation bi nso todwa from Palgrave.
But why did you decide to join Ken and his team? I mean, we have other teams there. What really did you see about Ken that you had to join him?
So I think that Ken for me represents a true Ghanaian and who a Ghanaian is. Ken's story is very inspiring. He's a young man who was born in Asindompem to very, very simple Ghanaians. Went through the thick and thin, sixth form, A-level, passed to Adesado College, went to Winneba, started entrepreneurial work at a very tender age on the streets of Accra, hawking, selling, pioneering to go to Germany, Europe, where he worked, later on going to the US. And of course, there are many people who have had this trajectory of life in terms of people who have either relocated for greener pastures or for some endeavors.
Smart Ghana update.
But Ken's story is extremely unique. He comes back to the shores of Ghana in the 80s to
Smart Ghana
join
update.
The Dankwa Buzia tradition at this very foundation with Professor Dubuahin and Michael Quay,
The verdict.
Kufuado, John Agyapong Kufuor, J.H. Mensah, Hackman Osu Ajamain. I mean, all the names that you can think of, Banredu and all of that. And at the time when we were doing the culture of silence, you recall that Roku Bobre began this Radio Eye, which gave you and I an opportunity now to sit here maybe 35 years afterwards to say that we are part of the governance process in terms of the fourth realm of the estate. And so Ken has been a very sacrificial person. He's lived his life outwardly for people. And as I looked at the fallout of the 2024 general election, which obviously tells us that after almost a year of us losing the election, tells us that we are not in government. As you can see, we are an opposition political party. We have a minority in parliament. And I mean, I looked at the rebuilding efforts of the party. I looked at the fact that if the party needs to rebuild well, it needs to go back to the foundations of it. So I was really looking for somebody who was there when Dankwa Buzia tradition began. And amongst other people, I mean, I could single out Oli Kennedy. I was looking at somebody that had been there when Professor Dubuahine was struggling for power for the Ghanaian people and even for the New Patriotic Party, because we came at the backbench of property owning democracy, a libertarian government, and the property owning democracy was because during the AFRC PNDC era, you couldn't own a Peugeot, it will be taken away from you. You can't own a land, it will be taken away from you. You can't have money, it will be taken away from you. So we were bringing a democracy that was going to empower the Ghanaian people to be liberated and be able to own their own properties. And I felt that, I mean, Kennedy is par excellence. He served John Agyapong Kufuor through the 90s when the government was in opposition, came into parliament, third parliament with President John Agyapong Kufuor as president of the republic, went into the fourth parliament, went into opposition, The Sixth Parliament was in opposition when Ivan Satamils was president, and even John Dramani Mahama was president. Phase one came again in Parliament, Seventh and Eighth Parliament when Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was president, and bowed out of Parliament to be able to serve his political party. And really, the trajectory of politics is that after you've served almost a 360, you really need to end at the pinnacle of it. And Kennedy has served on various committees. I held in my hands at the time when we were in government 2 significant documents that is attributed to his committee work. One of that is the National Security Architecture and Strategy, and the other is the Cyber Security Architecture and Strategy as well. So these 2 documents significantly for me tells me that Kennedy is the right person to be able to take power for us as a new patriotic party in 2028.
So on the flip side, I have Dr. Palgrave Boache Dankwa. He's a lecturer actually at UPSA, and also from Kennedy Ohene Agyapong's campaign. He's one man that I've known for years, and I want to ask him really about his position last year. Last 2 years, we were talking to you as someone in charge of security and governance, from the Nana Akufo-Addo's, administration, and we engaged you. You were very, very serviceable, I must say. Did you get the opportunity to work with Dr. Bawumia?
Well, how do I answer this question? I mean, it was a collective government. It was a government of Akufo-Addo Bawumia led government. In terms of up close, I met Bawumia a couple of times. He's a friend. I have relatives who are friends to him.
Smart Ghana
We
update.
engage and exchange conversations about Ghana. Yeah, I mean, I would say that yes. He's a
Smart
friend.
Ghana
I'm
update.
not sure if we worked closely on any particular project that I can easily remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he was my vice president. He was Ghana's vice president, and so yeah.
I'm asking this because, I mean, everybody would have thought that since you were given a certain portfolio within that administration, of course, he was also the vice president and all that. One way or the other, perhaps you would have worked with him. And so the expectation was that you'd rather tilt towards his camp and not another person's, camp.
Well, I think that in the 2024 primaries for the New Patriotic Party, I was in the camp of the flag bearer. I mean, it was a system candidate.
Exactly.
I mean, there was really not much anyone could do about it. But I moved away from his camp primarily because of the results. And I mean, for me, my biggest interest is the New Patriotic Party. And if you recall from the very beginning of my conversations, I said that our fathers built this party. If you look at the 1947 4th of August, when Dr. J.B. Dankwa declared UGCC at Salt Pond with power grant and all the other big names that you can remember, the party has gone through various transitions, including the Northern People's Party, the Progress Party, and now Dankwa Dombo Buzia Tradition and the New Patriotic Party. So my interest is the party, and I've seen the results that had come from John Agyapong 1996-2000 election results, where he had more votes than all his parliamentarians put together. I've seen the results and the build-up of that of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo building upon the results that John Agyapong left. Okay, and I've seen the voter margin that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo had left to Mahmoud Bawumia, which was a 6.7 million votes. Mahmoud went into an election and gave a result of about 4 million. I mean, he had the lowest results in the flag bearership election of the New Patriotic Party and in Ghana. And his parliamentarians had more votes than he did. His parliamentarians had about 5.2 million votes than he did. So I looked at it and I was like, no, we need to be able to recapture power, and we need to recapture power almost immediately. We cannot stay in opposition for a very long time. You are aware of what we're going through as a country now, and I mean, this is not a platform to be able to discuss that, but I have serious concerns about security in this country under the governance of John Dramani Mahama.
We'll talk about all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do that.
But I looked at that and I said that, I mean, as a young person who wants continuity in politics, who does not want to stay in opposition for a very long time, we need to be able to bring a candidate that the Ghanaian people themselves want.
Are you disloyal?
Not at all. I mean, I don't think that, I think that the question of loyalty is overly rated. I'm loyal to the New Patriotic Party. Okay, and my loyalty is to the Elephant Party, and that's what it is. We align based on based on strategies. We align based on timing. We align based on seasons. And I mean, obviously, yes. I mean, everyone was with Mahmoud. I mean, even the sitting president at the time, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was making sure that Mahmoud becomes the flag bearer, which he did. And I think that goes as a hallmark for him. I mean, in the next 10 years, 20 years, when we are mentioning former flag bearers of the New Patriotic Party, they mention Professor Dubois-Hain, they mention John Agyapong Kufuor, they mention Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, they'll mention Mahmoud Bawumia and mention Kennedy Agyapong. And so, I mean, I think that for me, loyalty is to the political party, and you align based on strategies and interests. And that is why my alignment is with Kennedy. It's on strategies, it's on interest, it's on what I'm hearing from the grounds, by the grassroots of the people. I mean, of course, why would you lose such an election when your predecessor left a voter margin of 6.7 and you could not even maintain that? I mean, the goal would have been to maintain it. You host this program. The standard will be for you to maintain this program or build upon it. If you don't build upon it and you don't maintain it, there's no use for Bolare keeping you here. You must be sacked. Clearly, I mean, and nobody goes into business to lose. We exist as a political party to be able to win power.
But Doc,
and that's the premise for it.
But do you also know that something when
Smart
you introduce a
Gang
product
update.
on the market and the product doesn't really do well, there's always the need
Smart Gang
to,
update.
rebrand the product by possibly even doing the SWOT analysis and all of that, using the pestle analysis and all of that. Couldn't you have done the SWOT analysis using even pestle, external environment and all of that to check all these things and then possibly rebrand the person to become what you wanted him to become instead of leaving his camp for a different camp?
When I was young, I used to like the Sunlight advert because, I mean, it was one of the most played adverts, and I still remember the song, okay? Sunlight is a very good product. I mean, even till date, if I get Sunlight, I'll use that. But Sunlight is almost out of the market, and so it's not just about the product and the rebranding of the product. Okay, it's about the fact that the unique selling proposition of that product still remains the same. And the variables that made us lose the election has not changed.
So even now, it still remains the same.
Even now, the variables are still the same, and I have data here that I can prove. I can pull it out for you.
So, Doc, you are saying that even if I'm not saying he's going to, but I'm saying even if he wins the internal elections,
I don't think that Mahmoud is going to win.
No. I mean,
there's no variables here.
So, no problem. But let's say if that is the case, if he wins the internal elections and is supposed to do the national contest, you are saying that he's not going to win?
I don't think so. The variables are really the same, and the Ghanaian people haven't changed. I mean, you don't expect the Ghanaian people to change overnight in 4 years. I mean, I remember the NDC is also wanting to prepare and also retain power. Okay, so I look at the variables, and those variables haven't changed. Okay, we presented the candidates to be able to win a sizable part of the Ghanaian people. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo left a voter margin, like I told you, of 6.7. He reduced it to about 4.2, 4.3 thereabout. That's almost like 2 million votes. But I particularly want to focus on the North. Which is important. In the 2020 general election, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in terms of Northern region, had 409,963. Okay. In the 2024 general election, Mahmoud Bawumia lost by 39,135. He reduced that vote. The vote of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2020 of 409,963, Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 39,135. Let me just go on. I'll just finish up so that you. And then in Savannah, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the 2020 general election had 80,605. Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 23,831. In Upper East region, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 170,340 votes. Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 63,640 votes. In Upper West region, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 121,230 votes. Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 31,324. The only place that Mahmoud appreciated was Northeast. In Northeast in 2020, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 122,742, and Mahmoud appreciated it by 12,058. And so if you look at the data as it is here, and I'm going to compare that with what Dramani Mahama had, okay, because I think that is also very, very important. In the 2020 election, Mahama had 449,650 in Northern region. Okay, in the 2024 election, Mahama appreciated by 79,806 in that same region. In Northeast, okay, Mahama had in 2020 had 112,306, and he reduced it by 1,225. It means that he didn't even reduce it significantly that much. In Savannah, okay, Mahama had 138,001. In Upper East region in 2020, Mahama had 322,317. And in 2024, Mahama appreciated the Upper East region votes by an extra 39,280. In the Upper West region, Mahama in 2020 had 238,949. And in the 2024 election, he appreciated it by 3,903. So if you look at this data alone, it tells you that the variables are still the same. And so it's not really about, it tells you that, look, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, okay, as a Southerner, performed more than one who comes from that 5 northern region. So the variables are still the same, okay? And it clearly tells me that for me, if the New Patriotic Party is really very serious about recapturing power
Smart
in
Gang
2028,
update.
we need to be able to bring a candidate that the Ghanaian people have not tasted yet. When we need to be able to test that variable, which
Smart
is why for
Gang
me, I feel
update.
that, it has to be Kennedy today, it has to be Kennedy tomorrow, it has to be Kennedy the next day. Because, he's the person that can be able to give us that vote that we need and be able to bring a competitive edge. The things that Kennedy is bringing on board, okay, you look at it. We sat in this country. John Dramani Mahama of the NDC campaigned on Nkokon Ketenkete. And I sit in my home on my dining table and I say, Nkokon Ketenkete won an election for the NDC.
It wasn't a good policy enough. It wasn't a good, formulator of policy enough for him to have won. Using the Nkokon Ketenkete.
Of
It
course.
was very traditional, very local. People could relate to it.
Of course.
It wasn't good enough.
Of course.
Dr. Pargrave. What
The-
are you trying to insinuate?
What I'm driving at
Yes.
is the fact that Nkokon Ketenkete was good enough to win an election.
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
And so
It was
it's
very
not-
relatable.
Of course.
Yes.
So it's not the high rising things. That's what I mean. Kennedy says he will create jobs. It's the simple things that the Ghanaian people want. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was our premier president in this country, told us that if he thought that the Ghanaian people needed bread and milk and butter, he would not have been building skyrocketing things. What didn't the New Patriotic Party do? The 2024 general election was not an election that we should have lost, with all the work that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had done. But it clearly tells you, if Nkokon Ketenkete could come and override all the things that we had done, it tells you that we should bring things that the Ghanaian people can relate to.
With all the economic, policies he had shared with us.
Everything that we had done, all the successes that we have chalked at a country, okay, under the New Patriotic Party, that could not retain as power. Nkokon Ketenkete, for somebody who had been in opposition for 8 years, used Nkokon Ketenkete, those chicken, scrolled slowly to Jubilee House. Today, as I speak to you, Nkokon Ketenkete is a Jubilee House. But all the brilliant ideas that we had could not give us Jubilee House. And that's what we want. We want to be able to go to Jubilee House. So we must bring a competitive policy.
But I'm sorry to also bring back the rebranding thing. And I was thinking that was when you could have actually sat down as a team to rebrand this person. And again, I'm shocked that you are sharing this information as if Dr. Bawumia was the sole reason for your loss.
Ike, let me ask you a simple question.
Which is quite unfortunate. I've even cited the report. I'll give you some time to. Feel free because it's going to be a heavy night. So you can do more if you want to.
Oh no,
it will be a heavy night.
I drink in bits. I drink in bits.
Guys, so join us live on Facebook, Star 103.5 FM. And of course, you can also send in some messages or your messages to be read right here on this platform, 055-288-0216, 055-288-0216, or 0535-183317. That's the conversation. And I have a surprise for you tonight before the show ends. I have a big surprise for you. I'm just telling you, even though it's a surprise, but I've told you.
Okay.
And the surprise is going to be a conversation.
That's fine.
I'm disappointed.
No, I'm not at all. Not at all. I'm a very simple man. Everyone who knows me is aware that I'm a very simple man.
You know, I really wanted to exhaust, that part of the conversation. Then we'll come back to you and then some other, national issues, and then we'll wrap it up. But
Smart Gang
this is my
update.
expectation. I was expecting that, by now you would have rebranded the person. And again, not to also say that Dr.
Smart Gang
Bawumia was the
update.
sole reason for your loss. And when people say that, I get a bit worried, because I'm sure some other factors could have played, a role in your loss. And some people have even said that you didn't really handle governance that well. So Nana Akufo-Addo, I mean, his government was also a contributing factor. So I'm surprised you are here tonight just talking about Bawumia as if he was the only person who hadn't done something right and that the NPP, had lost the election. So how do you say? I mean, what do you say to this actually? What do you say to this?
I love politics. I have studied politics for a while. And when you're a candidate, you come into an election with your strength. And that's really what you come into your election with. The one who was on the ballot was none other than the candidate of the New Patriotic Party. If he had won the election, this conversation you will not tell me. You would have said that he won on his own merit. I'm not sure you would have even mentioned the works that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had done.
We would have.
No, but I'm telling you that I look at candidates. Okay, John Dramani Mahama had not done anything, but the Ghanaian people voted for him.
Are you kidding me?
No, of course.
He was brought back again because of the works perhaps he had done, some interchanges he had done, and some other facilities he had built, and all of that. But for you to say that he didn't do anything,
I'm just giving you a background. Right. Mahama was in opposition for 8 years, so very confidently, the works of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo should make everybody forget what Mahama had done in terms of 8 years.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
Just put it in a scenario,
yes.
Okay? When he was campaigning, he was not campaigning on the things that he had done from 2008 with Ivan Sata Mills and the thing that he had done from 2012 to 2016. He brought fresh ideas. He said in Kokon Kitinkiti, he said 24-hour economy.
Of course, he needed to bring something fresh, but again, somehow also reminded us of what he had done.
Of course,
a few of them.
But people wanted to look at Nkokon Kitinkiti. And they gave Nkokon Kitinkiti a chance. For a man.
And again, they were also fed up with your government.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't,
I don't think
look,
so.
Look, Ghanaians really complained.
I don't think so. No, you see, I can understand.
Were you in Ghana? Did you hear what people said about your government?
I can understand the challenges that our government went through.
Exactly.
Okay, I can understand that. Yeah. I'm not blinded to it. I mean, I was here. I worked with the government. I was on networks.
Occupied a portfolio and all that, so you knew the ins and outs.
It's not a big portfolio. It's a very simple work.
We'll come to that. Don't worry. We'll come to that.
Very, very simple work. I mean,
Smart
don't elevate it extraordinarily. I mean, I do. Big portfolio.
No, but it is part of your CV. I'm saying we'll come to that.
Smart
of course. It's really just work. I mean,
no problem.
It's just a very simple work.
No problem.
That I was given, which I delivered to my mandate.
We'll go into that.
So, I mean, I think that for me, okay, the government had a lot of successes and had a lot of challenges. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government from 2017 to 2024 had almost a sandwich challenge. And the first was COVID-19, and no one can be blinded to that. You can't do politics with COVID-19 because I'm a survivor of COVID-19. On the 6th of January 2021, I couldn't breathe. I ended up at Ridge Hospital, and I was there for 30 days.
Up to now, people don't really believe that this COVID-19 thing was real.
No, it was real. I mean, my stories are online.
So you're a testimony.
Of course. I mean, even this week, I met one of my doctors who welcomed me at Ridge Hospital, Dr. Nina. She welcomed me, embraced me. They brought some oxygen. I mean, I was dying.
Interesting.
How you say, like today, maybe you'll be celebrating 5 years of my death, or 4 years of my death. You understand? I would have died, and it would be sad to die, especially when you have a lot of things in you.
Yeah,
because I don't think that my mandate is done yet. But anyway, I'm grateful to God that I'm here. But and also we had the challenge of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. These are things you can do politics with. But Nana Addo stood his grounds and was able to stabilize the Ghanaian economy. When we were on lockdown for a long time, people were paid when they stayed home. It's never happened anywhere before. This is not a country of milk and honey on the streets. We worked hard. Frontline workers were paid double salaries. You know that. Okay, so we cannot clearly say, of course, I understand that when we went through the economic challenges, the DDEP was a very, very unpopular work, but we had to do it. And we have explained it over and over again. We have said our sorries for the challenges and the difficulties that we had gone through. Of course, we did not anticipate that COVID was going to come, and so we had gone to the Eurobond a lot of times to do a lot of borrowing and all of that. I mean, all of those things happened in the government, and so we had very precarious challenges, but we chalked a lot of successes, which, of course, if the candidate was good, okay, you can build upon those successes and be able to explain to the electorates that I appreciate the challenges that we went through, and I am part of the processes that we went through, but I can assure you that we are coming out of it. And so for me, I look at it, no matter how you rebrand, no matter how, I mean, like I said, I like Sunlight. If Sunlight comes back again after 20 years, I'll still use it. I like Brilliant. I mean, those were the soaps. I like Key Soap, of course. I like Key Soap with a key on it. I mean, many years ago, it wasn't in a rubber. I think that now they've started doing Key Soap in a rubber and all of that.
There's that top packaging,
of course,
and all that.
So for me, I mean, I don't think that
I expected you to do the same.
No, I don't think so. I think that the factors. I think that the factors.
But it's fine.
No, I think
you made it so clear, so it's fine.
And I think that the factors for me are very clear. I've looked at Kennedy. I've studied Kennedy. He's been a very viable voice, a very credible voice. He's been a very consistent voice. He's been extremely passionate about Ghana. I see it. I hear it. I see his investments in Ghana. I see the fact that he's homemade. Kennedy is homemade. There are very few people who have wealth that want to use their money to serve their people. He's building the cardio center at 37 Military Hospital. And I said it earlier on that there's not a single president from President Nkrumah that has ever built anything from his personal money. Name it, from President Nkrumah to Buzia. Name it, nobody. Kotoka, nobody. Lehman, name it, nobody. President Rawlings, name it. There's not a single person that has used his own pocket money. Profit that must go to his pocket for him to enjoy, sit in his home, sit in his couch. He uses that to be able to build a cardio center. Money that must go to him. He uses that to bring people who are handicapped in Lebanon. He gave money to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Bring these Ghanaians from Lebanon to Ghana. Not a single politician ever did that. You think that Kennedy is the only rich man in this country? No, of course not. But people don't do that. You understand? And you need a leader who is a human being, who feels human beings, who touches human beings.
Maybe he should just be the philanthropist he is.
I think that Kennedy will be a very great president. I know that Kennedy will be a very great president. I mean, you look at his industrialization agenda, you look at his redistribution of the ministries in this country. He's going to take Ministry of Agriculture to Tamale. Okay, Tamale has a lot of raw materials. Okay, that they do. They have livestock. He's going to turn the airport that was built, 90% of that, into cargo. And so at 11 o'clock, a cargo flight can be leaving Tamale and going to Europe and arriving at 5. And sending foodstuffs there. He's going to bring factories. He's going to bring a lot of factories into this country to be able to create sustainable jobs. He's going to take Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to Ashanti region, bringing Ministry of Trade and Industry to Eastern region, taking Ministry of Education to Central region, taking Ministry of Energy to Western region, taking Ministry of Tourism to Volta region. All of this redistribution is going to grow Ghana. And it's going to make Accra the financial hub. That's how global giants have grown.
But I'm sure you know the reason for which most of these ministries have been, situated in one space, just for them to work hand in hand, and also to share ideas together. And sometimes you may move from this ministry to the other, especially if you are in the same space. It helps with productivity and all of that. But if you are scattering the offices, let me put it that way, that should also be a matter of concern.
No, I don't think you have studied statecraft. Because if you studied statecraft very well,
these are the issues being spoken about.
No, of course, let me explain. That's why I'm here to explain. Okay, if you study statecraft very well, you will realize that what we have tried over the past 68 years.
What?
No, you tell me. You know how many times people need to leave certain parts of this country to come to Accra to chase a paper and a document? Go to Rwanda and see. We want to be able to decentralize and decentralize effectively.
So why? Okay. I'm sorry to peruse this document of yours.
Let me build the global phenomenon. Okay, because what has worked in developed countries is what will work in a developing country.
Well, it also depends on the environment.
No, hold on. No, you see.
So sometimes you need to also study the environment.
Hold on.
And then do your analysis well.
Right, allow me. if you
Okay.
allow me, you would have
Please,
read this
please,
interview.
of course.
Statecraft is important. Okay, you want to be able to have an equitable distribution of government and government to the people at the local level. One of my saddest day in this country was December 19th, 2019, and ask me why. Why? Because on that day, the government of the day, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was going to sign we're going to have a referendum to be able to take local governance to the level where people can vote for their own MMDCs. The sitting government NDC pulled out of it. Today, every single MMDC or DC that is appointed by the politicians. We want to be able to grow this country so citizens can participate in governance. So the redistribution of the ministries, which has never been done over the past 68 years of Ghana's existence, is going to ensure that we bring equitable distribution of Ghana's resources to the Ghanaian people. I'll give you an example of one another did. The independence that was always done. It was always done in Accra. For all of our lives, we've always known that independence was done in Accra. Until Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo came and redistributed it across the country. In Kofrodia, when it was done, a PK seller, on that day, he made 1,700 Ghana cedis. Like, I don't know where you come from. But if you come from the village that I come from, and you make 1,700 Ghana cedis in a day, it's a big deal. I'm being honest with you, it's a real
Smart
big deal.
Ghana update.
Okay, so we need to be able to think beyond. Go to Singapore, go to Malaysia, go to Japan, go to China.
Smart Ghana
When you go to
update.
China, every single state in China has all the 4 things working. They have road well done. They have railway well done. They have sea, that is having sea transport well done. And then they have aeroplanes. In this country, we don't even have a lot of multiple airports. Okay, if we put a very good airport in Volta region, do you know how long it will take you to fly from Kotoka to Volta region airport? 15 minutes. You will get there. 15 minutes, you will get there. And that would also increase aviation. So when we are talking about this redistribution, is what meets global standards. And it's important that we explain it for the Ghanaian people to understand it. Ministry of Agric is going to go to Tamale. You can imagine the level of jobs that will create every single time. Look, we have, how many universities do we have in the north? We have UDS Tamale campus, UDS Nablongo campus, we have UDS Nampala. Look at all these campus. Look at all these universities that we are putting up. They are teaching them very great things.
I was for me about Rejoice Media TV, Manchester GTV, and I can love TV. Media and the adults be brave. You have been able to share Canadian home country. My open you probably are many baby in common. Aka America Crabina MPP, Epakoyi, presidential candidate, proper candidate. I'll bet me I didn't for the mama MPP. On train Crabina Catcher Pato, Majem, Miana McCoy, Machine Sign. Any common, you know, no, the Pia and common because open you fashion me DJ now.
All right, me the honorable change. Me among for the firm, my party in the morning now do. And people party in the mobile on Abuche.
Okay. But you say why no on Abuche? Because MPP Moody in so on Abuche, but material for more showing. Or than you on Abuche.
I on Abuche, I'm a mama, the new patriotic party.
Okay.
I'm a the election office.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I'm a constituency, so I'm a constituency.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I'm a MPP neighbor.
Na because say, I didn't know I go come to see a friend of one PA. Now every amasama no baby pim wa Ashanti region.
All right, me but then tell me about Ashanti region no. Election eba be koso.
Okay.
Election eba be koso on the 31st of January 2026.
Okay.
Ni nyina party no. The reason why Mama Baha ni Yura Canadian Agyapong.
Okay.
Nti na Mama Ba Santiman mu. Na me Ba Santiman mu a ye baba ba hwe say nyema ye toto e de aye election no be bia akoso bokwa na se enkoso ye. Na me bae no me hu nyema bebre mese the election committee or more national say bibia candidate the 5 aspirant candidate for no obia be raise concern e de abano munjintum no monfanye aduma because me bae me hu 1 or 2 things bia wo album ma sebe enkoye.
Okay, I
was Ashanti region ha.
Okay.
Enkoye kra.
It is a saying. Say Gibia from our own show one say, hey, I'm on for dinim.
Yes, me shema ebi mu kra wu but me anon de metiase omo wu no. I think say the election committee for nama IT for direction say omo no muntimi ma yen identify
okay
yen find as a stamp and na ink bi nto omo so ese wewu endi no sebe constituency na owo mu no omo kwakoto aba na sa ni bako no wewu a ontimi nto aba
na che obi di ni din ba omo hu say
yes wewu
okay
ana 2 ye ema mi sen hu no obi wo kra na 2023 abo na ede to aba no eno na yesan ba use di ato aba na obi a no nye delegate ba me ba Ashanti region me hu say obi wa 2023 no nka abo no but me ba en ma ba hu say sa nipa ko amafo ebre o mu a no mo nka abo no but o ende ye de o ma sha abo ni
eno ma be delegate
eno ma ba be delegate omonye former CEO omonye former constituency executives we polling station as in America.
Okay.
And the polling station, you know, be on count. I pay the about terminate the national media. Now that means Sabe, Nyama Nkoye.
Me to say former constituency chairman for no. Omo kan we unyin say uncle for na we the police station executive.
We the police station executives.
Okay.
Police station executives. Pa, me person me bobo omo e kwan da o dey meet me ambo. But say no me person no the election committee Yero Kennedy Japan eyom so mundi enimu no omo na me na omo kwakodi hu nkomo say me ba Ashanti region ana nyema amababa be hu nie
okay
enti no say yetu wana mo
okay
go say ne ye kama omo ye kire omo constituency na ekosa na ombe hu se da bia so omo koye ejuma no yi but ne ye no so ye petition kwakwakoto amomo hu say nyema no omo ye wo Ashanti region constituency ni mi no ye hu
constituency ben pa na hwa sa ankrofo yi dos pa
constituency ya me ko menhia south abebre egum ye menhia south ya o ko wa bebre
okay
bebre gugugugum obi wa ha on to 2023 on carbon no abon no onim
okay
but ye de na baba behim enti adenti na ye de na baba behim me question na me de ma ye fence menhia south constituency executives
na che se krono ya mo boy de ma nya mo unyi se proxy na nko ya ma je se mo koto na mo de fa ho koye sa de
proxy ni de wo mu se proxy no ye nyina na nka ye party for but proxy no na ejuma bi on beso mu dima one candidate omo nyina ye MPP for but ye ma ho kwan a na already no ma bodia ma over 30,000 obi lead by 30,000. And the proxy nearby a dianka, Yero Kennedy Japan, Brian Champion, Kwamne Japan, Nana or say Duchum, and Kabane Nanka, Munyanka, or Mavia. Not to say, Twabano, if you lead 30,000. Men I make out by proxy. Maybe Pacho video and watching out, Yaman. Maybe I don't know. I had a discussion if you are a so slow, but you to now I so aggressive to the sense, about we are a Ghana for that. Sempen phone to one and one and 10 to me. But also public in the city. Again, a betcha among who's a new way 2023 no count 2025 Wababe count. And then I make say, ye penny phony be your margin say the way youth and the Ghana for you to say, young fire Kennedy Japan, Embra now on Baji Ghana. Na de Nyankopon adoma Nyankopon de adom ne so mbebo o man Ghana na o man Ghana nko na enim no ye mpanifo ni bia ye o madwen so mo mpene
okay
eni ndine ekwan bi o mbefa so ama Yero Kennedy Japan ntimi nya tumi no o mbe so mo fa so ba ye so ye adwen se de Nyankopon ahye ese Yero Kennedy Japan pese Yero Kennedy Japan be di president o Ghana ye so ye adwen se be bi o mo befa bia ye be di ekire enti de omo ye nyina ye di ekire eni ntine ye hu no
I see
ade bi omo ye bia no ye mama ti se nyama bia ne epo bia omo bo bia ne ye hu eni ye besane
wow
epo bia omo bebo bia ye be hu ye besane
obi be bi sa se wodi wani form a nipa dodo sen pa na hwa sa omo nkan we police station for yi ye de omo aba kam
en na me hwe menhia south de no kwa me hwe na over 50 menhia south nko over 50
ene bantuma de
menhia south nko a
ene bantuma
en na over 50 menhia south so na sebe Yero
na che se eba menhia south de a was it that
Napo constituency. And so Eja on 2024 no. Yeah, first vice president.
Yes.
So I just say, and omo person mo modia no mo di bigum na san ye but you run Napo. Emrenu nso so be vice president.
And ka say anye ya ade ya. Because o make comment be say Kennedy Japan so man nyom ade ya nka Kennedy president.
Yes. So and make a choma menka bibi ncho 2023. Met me gina ha and there be me gina na meka as a 2023 national estimate 15% and the my Iraq and the Japan.
National.
Me na make a chero. As a man make me name the video in. Estimate 15% and the my Iraq and the Japan. But a buyer no na Iraq and the Japan I'm 37.6%.
Okay.
Me na me rep Iraq and the Japan our national head office.
Okay.
Na Iraq Kennedy Japan bia say ona buche. Hey, yeah, estimate say Iraq Kennedy Japan bet me 37.6%.
And ko you so few months. But so many 9 pena Iraq Kennedy Japan you so here. You use state machinery at the boy Iraq Bawumia. You use national boy Iraq Bawumia. But then sanya money nyine you any power. Then na Bawumia na sabi police chairman. Obedu baby constituency bi ato abaya say yabu we okwo no ofa make I say ya woman owo Kennedy Japan office world national yabu mami Alan crowd ni nipa
yabu na Alan so yabu no enti opo sanyoma ni nyina na yewura ba me na chairman of the Ghana police and onya chairman of Ghana police enti na obi anya obi a ye ko ne boot to boot election aye koi asumdwe ne yepe but wo obeye wadwen say obe wia election ni mu ababa akokra no de be ma obi a se bia mfata no yempene.
I see. And what are you saying to all Kennedy campaign reps and all the regions because if you are na be detective we ha e say you are expert.
Yeah.
And asamba na waka kire mo across the country.
And me share openi bia ye you say region bia ye dia show nsa message say obe mentena office to anamo ekwo region ni mu na hwe albums na ye printed dem amon no make sure say album na obehwe no audit album very well because ye nua mi omo ye omo adwen say chinchina about me na on person de ne ba but grassroots ana Ghana for say omo mpe ba omia
and you almost say e de ne ba 1 million times crap
almost omo mpe ba omia endu ne so ye na de bia de meka ene say yewra Alan Kojo chairman kama na sebe de de ye no no ebi beto ba omia de de ye yewra Alan Kojo chairman enu abi na ba beto ba omia
asema ba ene so ko o say ene nka na bra bo be say you
enu abi na ba beto ba omia because the reason me can say enu abi na ba beto ba omia no sebe ba me ba party ni mu nche
sa
ye kan mo say ma ye nka party na ba me obe mu na nche but obe mu since 2008 aye peja ode ba party ni mu no sabi wo wonya nyema bebre wonya nyema chom but ene ye kan wo si wo na nyansa ni ditaw na manfo ka se ebi mu oska but wo nya hwe ya me de ye Bawumia ene ne nkrofo se Bawumia so nya hwe nda since 2008 to 2016 na party ye nanado dankwa ene kenoforiata no mutia neka asama make minimum na make
na to opposition
ye to opposition ye Bawumia me se me there no say since 2008 to 2016 na ye kenoforiata etua Bawumia ka
oh ene ya misha kenoforiata ena na nkrofo di na temi
ene ye kenoforiata obia sorry ana oboni dimboni na Bawumia mu nyina akra amafo egbo kenoforiata dimboni nya Bawumia hye ekiri
nanso na otua oka
Bawumia hye ekiri
Kennedy say oba onje katua ono abeto no convoy Bawumia so to opposition oye running mate no je katua ene say oba president akatua obesin agi
obeje
asem na akahwe Ghana for
yewra Kennedy Japan asem bia yewra Kennedy Japan wo kana no kwai because papa ni minim no umben na ana beka so papa yi de ondo nipa oben de pa na oben so papa we nipa pa na de meka ache delegate any MPP for ana Ghana for eka ene say ye de yewura Kennedy Japan ba ombeto abama MPP ama MPP winning 2028 election but the make ache delegate for ne say delegate for yankwa MPP yenye 50+1 MPP yenye 50+1 I say Ghana for our beka once na yenye 50+1 na Ghana for eka say MPP for mutimi de yewura Kennedy Japan ba ombeto aba ama yen mesansre polling station executives eno mo yi mo ho ache se mo yi adwuma ma yewura Kennedy Japan mesra mo polling station executives bia de media dia me de bia me ko be bia me kan se o de polling station executive bia target nipa miensa ana nipa 9
okay
ma yewura Kennedy Japan
police station executive bia amfa nipa
miensa
okay
who nipa police station executive no sampa nipa miensa kan wa ba be yan 9
okay
et we for na that means say we electoral area near 15 ah we electoral area near 15 times 5 ubenya 80 that's a 4 we 4 times 5 ah we na almost 60 and now that means 60 out of 80 no Bawumia ne yewura edutum ene brand no mo 20 no it me say yeah adwen say be boy yewura Kennedy Japan ma wa ba be diga na enim no mesre yan chases polling station executives for no ye momonti asese Ghana for say ye de yewura Kennedy Japan ba on beto aba na mayen because Bawumia ye de ne bae ye nya 38.2%.
Almost 41
amoboa
sir
38.2%.
oh na say who election
38.2% ana make a kire
and Dr. Tesi ja
so and 38.2% ana ye nyae
okay
ebi see one people moda enti mesre ese Ghana for stress yewura Kennedy Japan na mope delegate mesremo mesada mensayem esremo say muma yembo ye homonia on the 31st of January 2026 ye kwato aba yenhwe number 1 na yenhwe ma yenhwe bebia apart from number 1 yen kwato aba na ma yewura Kennedy Japan na Ghana ejuma mbra nyakopo adaroma MPP ayadibi since 2000 yewura kufuo e the free maternity e bae
okay ana mo won kra ko
ayo won kwala na san kwala oni say san kwala so no be benefit from free SHS
okay
san kwala na yewura kufuo mo free maternity no omo no be benefit free SHS
na say do no mo 16 years
no mo 16 years 15 16
nani omo
ana omo be benefit from free SHS and edu nkwala na say free SHS we university but ejuma ni ho yewura mahama ana Ghana for kwakoto abama no yewura mahama so ma Ghana for 24-hour economy by the 24-hour economy no udu be bia enye ejuma by yenim de yewura ken ohene Japan obetimi aye o meye president here but o work so over 7,000 o meye president here but nyama o ye bo Ghana ano edoso me won politician ni o Ghana ha sabi wo bi ejuma ti say yewura Kennedy Japan
I see
me pese politician ni be there me say owo njuma ana wa fa work say yewura Kennedy Japan o Ghana so that entino se papa nyankopon ahye ne say ombra mbedi Ghana so mesre delegate ese delegate po no ebruwa omonkonkoto abama yewura Kennedy Japan na adom na nyankopon de adom no ewo njumam bie no omo wie school ene o ma sabe omo ntimi anko school but omo nya ejuma omeye no nyankopon ka papa yakoma no be di ade na wetimi abo Ghana for ama njuma aba because and then America we been show akwanto ne yetubi okwa amanone a aban ejuma ska bi enim bagana hanko ana aban ejuma ska wom adenti na kwala bi kwa kope police ni soja obi timi gi ni 18,000 ni 20,000
and you so we are and security is short
what you say but se kuro beni a private industrialization na building ekuro onya private investors a omo no betimi aba okuro because omo na aba beji omo tax now the any etumpon but private investors for no omo ni gidie o leader bia ma omo mba because me ni gidie o mo ya na di misika be bu o man what you say but me o ekuro ni gidie o mo a leader now odi kuro ni nim no woni ne ho gidi a omba what you say but so wo gidi o leader ni mu a obeba what you say enne okọ Dubai ye ka Dubai ni Malaysia ne Ghana na nya the same independence. I see. But ende be bia Malaysia dun Ghana ye ndu hoye reason is say leader no mafa no leader no a pragmatic leader. Ghana ha ya fa lawyer ya fa communicator ya fa teacher. Okay. Omo nyina Kusi aga. Omo baba be yebi. But ende edu say businessman ye Canada Japan. Ono so yen fa ma no. Na yen hwe. But me there me oni mugidie. Eso betime win election.
All right. Me pacho you bet o number na ye invite o e wo TikTok no so. Na oni delegate ne Ghana fu nyina so asan dey. Akasa bi na bra wo koyi last words na wa share the force so.
All right.
Kwa ansa na share TikTok no.
All right. Me the American say delegate Emre Nason we the me fa yewra Steven Tim moto bi a ye fa de boa no say time aso time na so ese MPP yetimi ebeji Ghana si wo 2028 na time na aso ni nyina say yentimi yi yewra Canada Japan dia yen forget 2028 but say yi yewra Canada Japan ye campaign che
o say mabunu say mo
because mabunu say yen fa na mra embro say yen fa mo mra e Christopher say yen fa mo mra Pepe for say for Mombra, Abosun for say for Mombra. And that day na yera delegate for Muntie, et yasramo. Delegate for yasramo pa say. A man so 31st January 2026 ni dua. Mokwa, mamu hwe be ase number 1. Yera Canada Japan, monto abane mano. Na Ghana embe kra behwe. Ana mefa akonya nso chia MPP mpanifo. General me salutu me chiao pa me chiao minimum adwuma wo ye me chiao pa me chia the treasurer of the national new patriotic party me chiao ana me chia yewra Kennedy ohene Japan bebi a wo bia nyankopon e ma wanwoden no ma otumi na 276 constituency ni nyina wo chi mu no o ma wadom netimi fa ko na Ghana fo entie any nduma pa wo ye mesantia the Ashanti region ashenensa Mr. Mensa ana mesantia Mr. Frempong mechia mu nyina medamase.
All right, Chama. Yes, you that. Now, if I TikTok handles, now we be so follower.
All right, my TikTok handle Honorable Chi. Yeah. Honorable HON.KYEI.
All right. I tell for you didn't paper Manchester.
Target ni nyina e da to abonten feel Accra Kumasi kwa hofro mo beye wakani nyina but anope me pese me call the finance minister out owie budget statement no on a join news for a interview now in the said interview no I was shocked some say finance minister can simbi asam na say or say advancement service and say any pedi omusika kwato financial institutions aye financial sector clean up no say nkrofo no musika no da ben na obetua ora to force say ontua na eye bone kra say aban ebe fa Ghana fosika e de atua saka no na aban atua mu no na ense sanka kra mu de omunsa kra ka so na sanka mu ma Bank of Ghana and recover the assets of those institutions. No, the Tia Sakano. And I was like, really? I had to force in Nakasayana. And then the powerful. I had to force in. And then that year, all catch say, banking sector clean up, no, and just a buying a Tia Sakano. I had to force in. Because I'm a promise, say, men's gold customers in on Bemwa, on Betua Musica de Amomo. Eh? In fact, at 2000, our parliament, a press conference, I have the videos. Say, a buying a kufuadra bino, I can offer na finance minister no, or the Timodane Egunkro for bank, and to be an sika umubiano, a bino, and trian sika and famano. A kufuadra buying, I can say, Ora Doctor Esiama, ɔno na no deputy bank of governor na saa adwumadie no nyinaa hyɛ n'ase ɛna ɔma nkurɔfoɔ banks eguye na ɛma deposit sika ɛka mu na ɛsɛ aban kɔpɛ sika in excess of about 23 billion ɛde tuo mu ka ɛdu baabi na ɛsɛ abalu kɔkɔ about 30 billion eti ɛde owura ɛsɛ ama akɔgyina court ɔkɔkɔ ansa atofo asɛm ba aban mu no deputy bank of Ghana governor no ana ogyina asɛnnibea ne yɛdina asɛm no na ne nkyɛn ɔno na ɛyɛ in charge ɛsɛ yɛ recover sika no efiri ɔno any bank owners ne nkyɛn no magyae no Masaya appointed no as governor of the Bank of Ghana. Orakobrandifoɔ na ɔyɛ owner of one of the banks ɔyɛ NDC ni ɛne nti ɔbaayɛ no attorney general ɛne national demu ayɛ coefficient 60-40 sɛ fa 40 kodi na fa 60 bra sɛ 60 no kura so watua sɛ ontuayɛ we don't know and today at forcing can't say Ghana for say and sese yɛ de Ghana ban sika etua deposited sika and I'm say wow Akufo-Addo ɛne Bawumia munyankopɔn so na Ghana for anka mu ansu a ɔmbɛka mu asere because NDC for ɛka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ ɔmo ba betua muka patro fabra ɛyifa atofo se de screenshot no di kan
na owura Kofi Dwuma Maswell ya na mo ye nime bia mo ma nipa esefem because so jina baby ka say national executives na say wo mo kwa o mo ko da o mo ko na na asa kina na me menti ase na me pastor na say nkiminya me hunu no the supreme newspaper headline na me pe full story na kai ba manya because manya a hard copy no o mo ko da ben wo mo ko na ana o mo ko kina party no be the so obi sa any be was obi a national chairman obi a general secretary obi a national organizer obi a youth organizer obi a women organizer that be any party the so must do mesisi ho ye for process mu party constitution ye dey adwuma any akoto aba and when you be win position no win ye and no me o madwuma enti so office o madwuma no wo de anso wani a enya bontin ya kogina nya radio na TV so na akota aka so mo nko kan ebetu aba because party no ye ni hihye bia o party no constitution mu say ye national executives and regional executives and now say executives bia na say wo tweet o mpa wo twin do ano pam o mum firi mu enye ye nya ne sa enti nya botre na twen eni nti na nyame aduma na say be sa akoto aba foforo na ye national executives emre no so a na de open no akoto ama no abe national executive sabre ya wo na afia adwuma no so no enkotra ba bi nko kansem bia nko bu mo fa se wo de wo ye sent because okoye adwuma wo gihok na okoye adwuma wo ho no minim MPP madodo o metumi aba bontia be ka se owura Kofi Dwuma koye adwuma as managing director e wo gihok no ye ofaye adwuma na se nya bibi firi mu enti mu nyina mo ka ho bio party no lose 2024 election no munyina mo ka ho bi say na da wo kan onipa no ye adwuma akoye campaign party campaign koye party adwuma obaya wo say wa argument wa suspending no once what think I want to koye sa campaign no into ono na koye in the name of the party say be a party no betina ho na so onya wam di adi no obaya wo suspending no na the party no opposition wi a why the blame na to obi so say national executives na anya de ntie pam mo mo ye sa ya na nyefe mo nyina mo contribute to the defeat of the party in 2024 enti mo ye enti opanyi a wo oba abemu nya president say brother in law na say
I know you na say
yeah wo age limit do hu e pa ho wo Kofi a wo se adwuma ka Kofi wo se yenye den yempam obi ote ho ye obeye brother in law wie no mpacho ta check date no since our year no course that was the time adwuma started during the leo as adwuma started call for
Smart Gang update.
President menene nam One fair money seriously. Ofo say we ye adwuma ye nsuo business na na ewu kumase no wo expand ko kumase no ka o ma ni gidaye na ma adwuma ma mebunu no e wo party no ana mebunu na e wo the biggest ye stronghold no ka ofo say ke be ko tibia na ye ko ye wa hwe wo failures wo contribution to ye entnafie no a wo be kan say enne hwe kodia ne nkrofo aka hwe adwuma omo ye eni baabi omo hwe it is difficult reforms hwe ye normal ya ye constitution normal ya ye any 31st ti e koto aba ni enya direction ba general happy birthday na we nyina ne kodia really? Yes na we nyina na wotiwo kan se we nyina ko twese nkofu twawada pa e wo social media wo fra ba mu social reckless normal wo ye wo po ka saudi ko fie wo po na asem we na wo beka aden impenifo ntia mu nyi hwe ka mu ntumi nka mu anu tum entena se nje obi entena ho enka se national executive bin Kusi and I say Dr. Bawumia tinye winiti on Kusi but me who say newspapers no a report say na me kan catch on say ora maso Kofi Juma a oye former Gihok MD and Nana Akufo-Addo ese say MPP national executive nyina Ekofi because of nkugodia ebaye no enti na you see eto de bia se unya empanifo se orama so Kofi Juma no na omo kasa sa no a eya na nipa emanipa se
Smart Gang Update.
Emanipa se pa because MPP party no a elusuye no eno ti ye mu bi ye say enkrofo de sumbo ebo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia se ono enema MPP elusuye a na ye bo afu pa because orama so Kofi Juma MPP defeat na buy no we don't free when ye we are one of the major elements, major causes of the MPP defeat. You know why? Gihok MPP by power Edora Maso Kofi Juma echo Gihok no you say transformation aba you say na changes e koso na e kofem na enkrofo hyase kan say ora Kofi Juma kra no na ontiapo ntimi nkwa adwuma enti ankayama ne nchanchen na obi ento adwuma no so. In fact there was even a policy by government say obi a wanya 60 years bia no enso de company ebesa no sa policy no enema Henry Kabra Kokofu ekofie sa policy no enema Edward Boatin ekofie sa policy no enema Ambrosere no ene enipa bi atsa nyina ekofie because no mo 60 years ba eka Kofi Juma ewo office na Kofi Juma ntiapo obi ahu se na ora maso Kofi Juma na oyare
in agriculture. Why can't we use our land that we have in the 5 northern regions to be able to feed Ghana and feed Africa and feed the rest of the world? Why can't we send yam, fresh yam from Accra to London for people to buy it on that very day? You live in Europe, you see, people send flowers all the way from Netherlands to London, fresh flowers every single day. And so we are looking at how Ghana can become an export-driven country rather than an import-driven country. Ghana has always been dependent on imports, everyday imports. And we're not getting tired of that. We need to be able to drive it. Every single year, universities, I'm a lecturer, we graduate more than 300,000 plus people into the labor market. Labor market tells us that the labor union has a deficit of 500,000 people that are not employed every single year. This week, 140,000 people are starting national service. In a year, they'll be done. Those that were done, majority of them do not have jobs. And so every single time you have deficits of people who do not have jobs. And Kennedy is going to create sustainable jobs. Jobs. That's what's going to be important for us.
We have 24-hour economy. We have Nkukon Kitenkete and all that. I'm sure there'll be some job creation for the youth. Right?
You want me to talk about John Dramani Mahama?
No, you just made an
Let me
assumption that
some
people are out of school already,
Let me-
done with their surveys, but of course there wouldn't be
Let me-
that opportunity for them to work. But I'm
let me-
saying there are policies, laid down for these people.
Let me wish John Dramani Mahama a happy belated birthday. And let me state that he campaigned on a 24-hour economy, which was a shift system of jobs. It's been almost 12 months. We haven't seen its full materialization of it.
Capital intensive, that's what they say.
He should have thought about it before he made that promise.
We need to give them some time.
Or how much time does he have? He just has 3 more years and we come to take over the realms of governance. You see, in this country, we run a 4-year term development plan. That's what we have in this country, and we must appreciate that. So every leader comes and must do what they have to do
Within the 4
But
years.
you must be able to lay a stronger foundation. Okay? Of course, every government creates jobs, but not many governments create entrepreneurial jobs. Entrepreneurial jobs is an ability that sunlight will not die. Ideal milk will not die. Carnation will not die. Milo. Do you see how Milo has changed? Milo has changed from tin to paper to rubber to Milo. Now Milo, if you have 1 CD, you can buy Milo.
So we can do a general conversation so that we don't mention the
I like Milo.
product.
It
Yes.
doesn't matter. It's okay. The children like Milo. It gives energy. I'm
Dr.
telling them, they'll
Badus,
come and advertise it.
let's move on.
They'll come and advertise.
Please, let's move on.
So if you look at how things have gone, you need a leader that is entrepreneurial. And entrepreneurship is where you invest in businesses and start businesses and think businesses and multiple businesses. That's all we need. Look at this company that you are in, Star FM. Okay, I'll use you as an example. You have Star Assurance. Okay, you used to have Unibank. What else do you have? You have all your networks, Kasapa, you have GH1, and maybe all the other companies that you have. Okay, when I was outside, I saw that you had put an advert there that you are leasing some aspect of your property. That's entrepreneurship. It's created a job for you, Ike, to sit here. This man has been here long. I've seen him
Smart
for a very
gang
long time. He's
update.
always here. So that's what entrepreneurs do. They create jobs. They create real jobs, physical jobs that put food on people's
Smart
table.
gang
That's
update.
what we need. There's a sizable part of people who enter into politics, and when their government is out, they don't have jobs to do. Do we run a country like that? We don't run a country like that. So when we were young, we were told that at the backyard of every home, you had a little plantation. If you don't have contomere, you have pepper. If you don't have pepper, you have garden eggs.
Backyard
If you don't have
farming.
backyard farming. Today is it there? Everywhere is cemented. They are cemented everywhere. You understand? When I lived at Bema camp, we had plantain. We had everything, including sheep, goat, cattle, pig, everything. We had it there. Because the barracks, they'll bring it. I lived at Juba Villas number 48 with my guardian Kenod Manasume, may he so rest in peace. And so if you look at how we grew up, that's not what we see today. Which is why, for me, we need a president who is entrepreneurial, who has been a businessman the longest of his life, started businesses, knows the risk of it, is able to bring investors in. Kennedy has a lot of investors who are willing to come and invest into Ghana when he is leader and president of this country. And I'm certain that the 250,000 plus delegates who are going to make a decision for the future of the New Patriotic Party on the 31st of January 2026 will choose Kennedy Agyapong as the flag bearer. That begins our rebuilding efforts. If indeed we say we're a party that wants to rebuild, that begins our rebuilding effort. When Kennedy is the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, so that every single grassroots member can feel that the party is part of them. That's what we need.
How would you feel if he doesn't become the flag bearer for the NPP? How would you feel?
I don't think that I'll be sad. That'll be one. I'll be sad. But I don't think Kennedy is losing this election. I'm very confident of Kennedy's victory. I've been on the campaign tour. All the places that we have gone to. Today, they are in Kratchi. Okay, in Oti region. They are finishing Oti region tomorrow. Okay, we've done close to about 171 constituencies out of 276 constituencies. Done 13 regions. Okay, I will be very, very sad that Kennedy will lose this election. But I don't think that Kennedy will lose this election. I'm very confident that Kennedy will win this election because we speak to the delegates and they tell us very clearly that, look, baby a party na kwako duno. We need Kennedy Agyapong. Look at what is happening.
We lost all our seats. Do you think we are proud of it as a party? We have lost all our seats. We are going to Pandai. The court says we should go to Pandai. On the eve of Christmas is when we are going to have that election. When I was young, yes, you were being cancelled 24th of Ukurum. Well, but look at it today. Now 24th, we are going to vote.
We are going to Pandai.
We are going to Pandai to go and vote.
Are you winning that seat or you're losing?
You see, that was one of my sad moments when we have a constitutionally mandated body like the Electoral Commission, who must come and tell us who has won a presidential election and who has won parliamentary election. It does not hold, and it is not the responsibility of any flag bearer to come and make any decision. No, it's the country, this Ghana is guided by rules. Do you understand? The Electoral Commission must come and tell us, the people who voted, that based on everything that I put together, Dramani Mahama has won, Mahmoud has lost. Do you know the risk that we put this country through by the early concession? Afenyo Makin was not the flag bearer, but I stand up for him always. I watched Afenyo Makin run from one constituency to another constituency, and I felt sad for him because at the time he was majority leader, and he saw clearly that people were being their seats, they were taking it from them. I saw him go to Insawoma Doeji, go and fight for his brother Anodon Pre. In the end, they counted 3 times and brought it to
Smart
Kesano.
Gan update.
He went to Okankwe Central. He went to Tema Central. He went to Ablekuma. There was not a single constituent. He even went to Akwetia. And on the eve of the president swearing in on the 6th of January 2025, Afenyo Makin stood there and said, let's swear in and Skumi so that the court can deal with itself. You were there. You followed it. So, if you're a leader, you must wait for the constitutionally mandated bodies to do their work. Look at the number of Electoral Commission officers who were mishandled in the hands of the opposition NDC at the time. Look at it. Declare. Count. Look at it. We put a lot of people's life at risk. And I think that, look, going forward, we need a leader who is bold, a leader who has patience, who will wait. We have to wait for the Electoral Commission to come and tell us that the 2028 general election, based on all the results that have come from all 276 constituencies, I declare, and that's the Electoral Commissioner, whoever it is at that time, Kennedy Agyapong as president-elect of the Republic of Ghana. That is the right thing that must be done. Of course, elections have been done in this country from 1992, 1996, 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024. Elections have been done. We don't have these things happening. So look, even the decision that was made on the 8th of December 2024, we are still paying it. And one by we are still paying it. To the Pandai, look, they've gone to court. We don't know how many more the people.
United Nations, World Bank, Nadia. And fed in 2 plates mu.
Mochi aba MPP amanyuko no na oma ba aba beboa Kennedy na wawini aba president na MPP amanyuko no etimi afa ne ntoma pefra.
United Nations, World Bank, Nadia. And fed in 2 plates mu. And my dollar ni sidi ne kosro. Ye pedi obe ye adwuma wa ha ma ye mebuo ni pe adwuma. Misramo kufu aba ye. Ohun se ma ne ye pe ye kunumu ne ye kunumu pe ye. O se na amonwo metua free ene ye woe ekufu adubai no se awo na mo awusei ena nkola ni defie. Okay, all the scholars go to school free. And ya go school na wie ya ye bibia wie akadai ejumewura na da number 1 no ejumewura na ya kompreko ejumewura na wo Kennedy onu eno betimi aye onu no ye businessman tete no ya toma lawyer for me Ekufuado Kofuo any economist say Dr. Bawumia enne amanone nia ye ntoma won say baby nipa ye toma e businessman wom ene tumi bia businesses ba wo bia nya bi besramu mo bia nko wasting the time nipa obetimi aka party na bom Kennedy lose elections 2023 the only Bawumia koy no busa Bawumia say ejuma ben na menya mawo Bawumia say me pese wo ne napo nante. Baby anapo ko bia one ne koe. Wo diska bre no, o de nioma bre no nso anya yie. Ene ya te se yewura Alan. Ohini nto afoko no mo say ye Kennedy dia ye gyae bibia ni abeka mo ho. Onua praye na ye pese ye de pra NDC no emu oha. Sa praye na ntimi mpra. If you say NDC for ye wagadrel. Wo ya de mu den ye mfa nkyekere. Enti se nkrofo na say Kennedy dia ene ye twen den. Ene wuti Uber si Kennedy, wuko Jom Kennedy, wuko babia Kennedy. Ghana for pedi okano kure. Ghana for pedi okano kure. The sana Ghana for pe.
Awani die, Nyankopon se ye kano kure. Ye youth no MPP mabuna ya bano. Se ye pe obi ama ye ni na yaji akonya na free ye friend say NDC for nsema agi say yenya we okukudu for say honorable candidate Agyapong the president incoming president January ya ye betu abaye no na German of for there youth ne omo mutu aba wo ha ne there ni ye loyal ladies for there ya tan 24/7 because ni nyuma pa na oye o party no ye ti na sem kwa na ye mu bi nyamba party no onu hu do ni ne hu kikaya wo party ni se ni o si kano kre on fa se mu si on fa se se we ye ni party asabi ti o se o kata so se baby o minor e se ye nya on the car o ti me kan bu so asem e se JJ Rollins now leader anything as I say, you can or mind business minded. Also, business minded. It's a say youth no other constituency for no bois, no you two abandoned Gina. It say you ma partner or you or Ghana ham. So obey president, obey the day am I. What I say, obey my youth for no cry want on it because me for your business. Once now I say education sector name, the security in the winning now. Obey the human, I'm a family not for me. I admire. Because then yes, or Yenian MPP, the Omo Trab and Yan say, Yen come from Naya Jimbaku, and then the other back on the just. Yet the other way for just or one time. I did tell it never to bunch in Swassa for just. And the yes, and say, oh, yeah, oh, my so honorable, and if I don't share. Now, you say, you didn't buy. If it end this for the on the summer.
Pana yeno ono ani nyuma wa bie kura de me mpese me ko ne mo me kan semo a enioma papa de ni sika ye de apo Ghana man as an MP a onye mampani a onye minister o kan crofo bi say eno wajeje contract eno waye say it's honorable Ken the only person who MPP ma waje contract obi age contract ni bi bo no ne de ye ho mfaso o de boa nipa nyina o de boa Ghana nyina wa fa ngunu botom papa ya ye nioma bebre dia bo my Ghana emre bi Ghana mebunu bebre ko ka Lebanon papa iti ni botom sika e de kofa nkwara yi nyina bai de papa chira so beti se nipa bi kwa hu hihim enkrofo watu omu school fees de ye nka enkrofo wabo omu dwetire de ye nka adoya papa ya ye nipa ye kase ye ka de ye bechi na ebre bia ne de eba na Ghana fo bebre ene ye MPP fo so ne aye videos ne edi papa natan ena ai okasaba sabasa ena na no ya ena say Bible say bua okwasea e wona gimisem ho na wa amunu de nyansani so bi ya de na enye no se wo ye pani na se wo nka wo te fie na hwema nkwada we na nka ye ka na nka we fo ye ka wo ka ho honorable Ken on fa so wo ye ne maame on fa so wo ye ne ba on fa so wo ye ne papa ade a wo ye no enya he will put you to your rightful position or be place where you belong and no so na nipa mpe no enipa bibre bia ti wiase bia mpese obi beka nanim oya ade ompese obi beka nti obi ya ade a wa obeyi na tan ye bu se wo ye nipa boni ni Bible so se mie mu atan ye nyi atan wo yi atan so obi ya ade na wo twe na dwene so ade a wo ye na nye papa emfa nsusu aso papa manti jai eno ane ono abu ha papa ya ko ama party yi saa entoko ne NDC fo kun ye and Sambia Wakano 2014, Ekufuado the winning election 2016, or the winning election 2020, 2024, you could lose election, I say, and Anoka Centra. Now, you done a Sunday that 2014, 2015. Yeah, they are contest me no winning. Now, we contest a toss me and so Lusu Yamokofa, a same way see ye. be 8 years ago e dey abe relate we abusua for mo me nka no kranjere ye ho me no bi no ye polling station for no ade a wose yen saka as party man yen sankan yo ade a wose yen saka as ordinary Ghanaians setting mind me ya ban ba so yen sankan yo yenyi obi o ye pragmatic yenyi nipa dono me wie masem na bi otumfu afutu ode ma MPP for se MPP for me ka kire mo kwa akoto aba yi nipa na mo nka hu se munyi nipa ne ma mo ho na mu yi nipa no e de na kwakire Ghana for ma Ghana for nso adwene ho enti me no mienu ye musa se MPP delegate aye no 300,000 no se ye koko yi de ye pe na ye de ne bana Ghana for ka se de mu yi ne ye mpenti ye nto aba ma na me no ye tena opposition biem opposition no so aye tena ye mfa nhye ye trimu se jomama wo ma biem ti nipa kra ye ne be ko 2028 aye be lose no ye lose ani pan so be make sure so be twa 8 years so 2032 2036 ena nyame ye yadom e betima ba power bi na me no mienu ya tena opposition 12 years They say me was 42 years. Enu 12 years time na me was saying. Mon fan can me 54 years. And what dear me de be adwuma na enu sa time na me health so ye de e ko fom kakra. Nti me sere mo enne onyum to bi onyum tofuo bi nyum. O say enne ya na sese ye de osoma ye adwuma. MPP delegates me say we should do the needful. We should do the needful. Edidi da wo hoi yes na didi preko nti dwene party no ho kane enwene de enne obi de bema wadi medam ase nyame hira obi bia na nyame emoye nyina ye ho ban maye na afe empinu ne aduonu nsia opepon da etwa to okora aduasa ba ko no yemfa tumi no enkoma honorable Kennedy ohine Agyapong na ontu fraka amaye na Ghana emfa ne ntoma pa emfra na Ghana enye krabehwe makra no
Abusan for me mo kwaba Rejoice Media TV, Manshare GTV and Ken Lovers TV. Media na dey endorse be brebe bi obenya bi a share fa Kennedy hono kwanti. Manya opanyipa bi wa me ne ba be di nkomo na aka emre kakra bi na MPP ekwakoyi presidential candidate, proper candidate a obetimi adi nkunima ma MPP a. On twen kakra bi na aka tempa acho majem me ana me koye ma twen asan. Enti eni nkomo no wie no no hu be bia enkomo no be kwakosi. Opanyi mi fa so me di DJ na so.
All right, me the honorable chain. Me amount for the firm my party ni mu nyina odu MPP party ni mo bia honorable chain.
Okay. But you better say why no honorable chain because MPP mu dey in say honorable chain but metie for mo show yi. Or the new honorable chain
honorable chain am age mama the new patriotic party.
Okay.
I'm the election office.
Oh, okay.
And you know, my constituency so I'm Massaman constituency.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I'm MPP neighbor.
Na beka say edi na akoka Kusi afri no bon wo pia wie na obiri amasama na obabe pie mu Ashanti region.
All right, me but then tell me ba Ashanti region no. Election eba koso.
Okay.
Election eba koso on the 31st of January 2026.
Okay.
Nina party no. The reason why Mama Baha ni yewra Kennedy Agyapong.
Okay.
Ntina Mama ba santiman mu. Na me ba santiman mu a ye baba ba hwe say nyema ye toto e de aye election no. Be bia akoso bokwa na se enkoso ye.
Okay.
Na me ba ye no me hu nyema bebre. Mese the election committee or more national. Say bibia candidate the 5 aspirant candidate for no obia be raise concern e dia ba no mo njintum no mo fa nya adwuma because me ba me hu one or two things bi a wo album ni ma sebe enkoye
okay I
was Shanty region ha
okay
enkoye kra
it is the same say gibia from on hwa hu ana say hey amanfo din nim
yes me hwe mu a ebi mu kra wu but me anon de metiase omo wu no I think say the election committee for nama IT for na direction say omo wu no muntimi ma yen identify okay yen fa it as a stamp ana inki bi nto omo so say wewu endi no sebe constituency no wo mu no omo kwakoto aba na sa ni bako no wewu a ontimi nto aba
ana je obi di ni din ba omo hu say
yes wewu
okay
ana 2 ye ma mi sen hu no obi wo kra na 2023 abo na e de to aba no eno ana yesan ba use de ato aba na obi a no nye delegate ba me ba Ashanti region me hu se obi wa 2023 no nka abo no but me ba en ma ba hu se sa nipa ko amafo ebre o mu a no mo nka abo no but o ende ye de o ma sha abo ni
eno ma be delegate
eno ma ba be delegate omonye former CEO omonye former constituency executives we polling station in America
okay
and the polling station you know obi on kan on I pay the ba betam de na shemodia na that means sebe nyema enkoye
me te say yes former constituency chairman for no omo kan we unyin say sa ankofo na we the police station executives okay
polling station executives pa me mpese me bobo omo ekwan da o de metimi abo but say no me pese no the election committee Yero Kennedy Japan eyom so mundi enimu no omo na me no mo kwakodi hu nkomo se me ba Ashanti region hana nyema amababa be hu nie
okay
enti no yese yetu wana mo
okay
go yese ne ye kama mo ye kire mo constituency na ekosa na on be hu se da bia yese mo koye eduma no yi but ne ye no so ye petition kwakwakoto amomo hu se nyema no mo ye wo Ashanti region constituency ni mi no ye hu
constituency ben pa na hwa sa ankrofo yi dos pa
constituency ya me ko menhia south abebre egum ye menhia south ya o ko wa bebre
okay
bebre gugugugum obi wa ha on to 2023 on carbon no abon onim
okay
but ye dina baba behim enti adinti na ye dina baba behim me question na me de ma ye fence menhia south okay constituency executives
na je say kro no yo mo boy de o ma nya mo unyi say proxy na nko mo yo ma je say mo koto na mo de fa ho koye sa di
proxy ni de wo mu say proxy no ye nyina na nka ye party for but proxy no na edwuma bi on beso mu di ma one candidate o mo nyina ye MPP for but ye ma ho kwan a na already no o ma bodia ma o baba 30,000 obi lead by 30,000 and the proxy nearby the anka Yero Kennedy Japan ne Brian Champion ne Kwamna Japan ne Nana Osei Dutum anka ba ne nanka omo nyina anka o ma we kra
na je say en to aba no e bia lead 30,000
me na me ka cho by proxy
wallahi obi pa cho hwe video na wa share na dia man me ba cho be bia aduru no won say I na discussion bi wa ekoyi so slow but youth na aye so aggressive to the sense say abawo ye wi na e wi Ghana for that sempen phone to one na mo a ententem ya ba o se public no so ye den eti edian na e be kira mo hu se nipa we 2023 no nka ho 2025 wa ba be ka ho
ene na me ka se ye mpenifo ni bia yo ma adwen se the way youth ene Ghana fo esu se ye mfa Yero Kennedy Japan embra na ombeje Ghana na de Nyankopon adoma Nyankopon de adom ne so mbebo o man Ghana na o man Ghana nko na enim no ye mpanifo ni bia yo ma adwen so mo mpene
okay
eni ndi na kwan bi o mbefa so ama Yero Kennedy Japan ntimi nya tumi no o mbeso mo fa so ba ye so ye adwen se de Nyankopon ahye ese Yero Kennedy Japan pese Yero Kennedy Japan be di president o Ghana ye so ye adwen se be bi o mo befa bia ye be di ekire enti de omo ye nyina ye di ekire eni nti na ye hu no
I see
ade bi omo ye bia no ye mama tia se nyema bia ne epo bi omo abo bia ne ye hu eni ye besane
wow
epo bi omo bebo bia ne ye be hu ye besane
obi be bisa se wo di wani form a nipa do sen pa na hwa sa omo kan we police station for yi ye de omo aba bekam
na me hwehwe menhia south de no kwa me hwehwe kwa na over 50
menhia
south nko over 50
ene ba ntuma de
menhia south nko
ene ba ntuma
na over 50 menhia south so na sebe yewura
na chi se ba menhia south de a wo se daache hene na
poko constituency enti so eja on na 2024 no ye na first vice president
yes
so ati ase enti no omo person mo modern no mo di bigum na san ye but yewura na po emre no nso se obeye vice president
enti no ka se yanye ya adie ya because o make comment bi say Kennedy Japan so man nyoma adie ya nka Kennedy ye president
yes so ana make a choma make bibi ncho 2023 met me gina ha and there be a me gina ana make as a 2023 national estimate 15% and the my Iraq Kennedy Japan
national
me na make a chero asema make me nim da video yi estimate 15% and the my Iraq Kennedy Japan but e buy no na Iraq Kennedy Japan am 37.6%.
Okay.
Me na me rep here Kennedy Japan our national head office.
Okay.
Na Europe Kennedy Japan bia say ona buchen. Hey, ya estimate say Europe Kennedy Japan bet me nya 37.6%.
And ko you
so few months. But so many nine pen Europe Kennedy Japan you so here. You use state machinery at the boy Europe Bawumia. You use national boy Europe Bawumia. But then Sanya money nyina ni oye ni power. Then na Bawumia na ye sabi police chairman. Obedu baby constituency bi ato aba ya se ya bu we. Okwo no ofa. Me kai say ye woman owo the Kennedy Japan office world national. Ya bu mami.
Alan krade ni nipa ni.
Ya bu na Alan so ya bu no. Enti opo sanya money nyina na ye Bawumia na chairman of the Ghana police. And onya chairman of Ghana police and then obi anya obi a je ko ne boot to boot election a ye koi asumdwe ne yepe but wo obeye wadwen say obe wia election ni mu ababa akokra no de be ma obi a se bia mfata no ye mpene.
I see. And what are you saying to all Kennedy campaign reps and all the regions? Because we Accra na be dictate we wa ha. I just say you expect.
Yeah.
And asamba na waka chiro mu across the country.
And me message omo openi bia ye you say region bia ye dey show wonsa. Message say obe mentena office to anamo ekwa region ni mu. Na hwe albums na ye printed them no make sure say album na obehwe no audit album very well because ye nuanu mi omo ye omo adwen say chinchina Bawumia no mpeso mo de ne ba but grassroots ana Ghana for say omo mpe Bawumia
and you almost say e de ne ba 1 million times crack
omo say omo mpe Bawumia endu ne so ye na de bia de meka ene say yewura Alan Kojo Chairman kama na sebe de de ye no ebi beto Bawumia de ya yewura Alan Kojo Chairman enu abi na ba beto Bawumia
asema ba ene se ko o se ene nka na bra bo be say you
enu abi na ba beto Bawumia because the reason me can say enu abi na ba beto Bawumia no sebe Bawumia ba party ni mu nche
sa
ye kan mo say ma ye nka party na Bawumia oba mu na nche but oba mu since 2008 aye peja ode ba party ni mu no sebe wo wonya nyema bebre wonya nyema chom but ene ye kan wo si o na nyansa ni ditaw na manfo ka se ebi mu oska but wo nya hwe ya me de yewura Bawumia ene ne nkrofo se Bawumia so o nya hwe nda since 2008 to 2016 na party yewura Nanado dankwa ene kenoforiata no mutia neka asama me ke minim na me ka
na muti opposition no
ye ti opposition yewura Bawumia me se me de no say since 2008 to 2016 na yewura kenoforiata etua Bawumia ka
oh ene ya minsha kenoforiata ena ne nkrofo di na temi
ene yewura kenoforiata obia so ya na oboni dimboni na Bawumia mu nyina akra amafo ebo kenoforiata dimboni nya Bawumia hye ekire
nenso na otua oka
Bawumia hye ekire
Kennedy se oba on Jakatia, or no beton convoy. Bawumia so to opposition, or your running mate, no Jakatia. And I saw by President Akatua Bessia.
Obejo.
As a man, I catch a Ghana for.
Era Kennedy Japan, Assembly era Kennedy Japan, or can no cry. Because Papa Minimuno. Oh, Bena. Ana begas over pay the ondo nipa. O ben the pan abons papa ni papa. Na de meka ache delegate any MPP for. Ana Ghana for the Ghana for eka any say ye the Eura Kennedy Japan ba. On beto abama NPP. Ama MPP winning 2028 election. But the make ache delegate for ni say delegate for Yankwa MPP enye 50+1.
Oh that be
MPP enye 50+1. I just a Ghana for our become once na 50+1. Na Ghana for say MPP for me the Eura Kennedy Japan ba on beto aba amayen.
Okay.
Mesansre polling station executives. Eno mo yi mo ho ache se mo ye adwuma ma Eura Kennedy Japan. Mesra mo polling station executives. Bia the media dia me de bia me ko be bia me kan say o the police station executive bia target nipa miensa ana nipa 9.
Okay.
Ema Eura Kennedy Japan.
Police station executive bia amfa
nipa miensa.
Okay.
O nipa police station executive no. Sanfa nipa miensa kan wa ba be yan 9.
Okay.
E do ye for na that means say o letter area na 15 na. O letter area na 15 times 5 obenya 80. That's a 4. 4 times 5 out. I'm almost 60. And now that means 60 out of 80 no. Bawumia ne Eura editum and a brand. No more 20 no. It may say yeah adwin say be boy Eura Kennedy Japan ma ba di Ghana enim no. Mesre yen chases police station executives for no. Ye momonti ase say Ghana for say ye the Eura Kennedy Japan ba on beto aba na mayen. Because Bawumia ye de ne buy ye nya 38.2%.
Almost 41.
Amoboa
sir
38.2%.
Oh na say who election
38.2%. Ana make a kire o.
And Dr. Tesi
so and 38.2% ana ye nya
okay.
Ebi see one people moda. Enti mesre say Ghana for stress say Eura Kennedy Japan no pe. Delegate mesremo mensada mensayem esremo say muma yembo ye homonia on the 31st of January 2026 ye kwato aba ye hwe number 1 na ye hwe ma ye hwe bebia apart from number 1 ye kwato aba na ma Eura Kennedy Japan na Ghana ejuma mbra nyakopon adaroma MPP ayadibi since 2000 Eura kufuo e the free maternity e bai.
Okay. Ana mo won kwala ko.
Aye won kwala na san kwala oni say san kwala so no be benefiting from free SHS.
Okay.
San kwala na Eura kufuo mo free maternity no omo no be benefiting free SHS.
Na say do no mo di 16 years.
No mo di 16 years. 15 16.
Na ni omo
ana mo be benefiting from free SHS. And edu nkwala na say free SHS we university but ejuma ni yo. Eura mahama ana Ghana for kwakoto abama no. Eura mahama so yema Ghana for 24-hour economy. By the 24-hour economy no, udu bebi enye adwuma. By yenim de Eura ken ohene Japan obetimi aye. O meye president here. But o work so over 7,000. O meye president here. But nyema o ye bo Ghana ano edoso. Me won politician ni o Ghana ha. Sabi, we be adwuma te say Eura Kennedy Japan.
I see.
Me pese politician ni be there me say owo ndwuma ana wafa we kese Eura Kennedy Japan. Owo Ghana. So I just entino se papa nyankopon ahye ne say ombra mbedi Ghana so me sre delegate. Ese delegate po no. Ebruwa omonkonkoto abama Eura Kennedy Japan. Na adom na nyankopon de adom no. Owo ndwumam bie no. Omo wie school. Ene omo sabi omo ntimi anko school. But omunye ejuma omeye no nyankopon ka papa yakoma no be di ade na wetimi abo Ghana for ama njuma aba because and then I mean ka we bincho according to the yetubi okwa amano ne a aban ejuma ska bi enim bagana hanko na aban ejuma ska wom adentina kwala bi kwa kope police ni soja obi timi gi ni 18,000 ni 20,000
Send you so we are and the security is assured.
what you say but se kuro benyi a private industrialization na building ekuro onya private investors omo no betimi aba okuro because omo na aba beji omo tax now the any etumpon but some private investors for no omo ni gidie o leader bia ma omo mba because me ni gidie o mo ede na di misika be bu o man what you say but me o kuro ni gidie o mo a leader na odi kuro ni nim no uni ni hu gidie a o mba what you say but so wo gidie o leader ni mu a obeba what you say and then okwa Dubai yeka Dubai ni Malaysia ni Ghana nya the same independence I see but and the baby Malaysia do Ghana yendu hoye reason is say leader no mafa no leader no a pragmatic leader Ghana ha ya fa lawyer ya fa communicator ya fa person teacher okay omo nyina Kusi aga omo baba be yebi but and edu say businessman you reckon in Japan. Honestly, I'm from Mano. Nay, share. But me, dear, me only mujidi. I saw bet me win the election.
All right. Me pacho, you bet you or number. Na ye invite you or TikTok also. Now ne delegate ne Ghana fu na so asan dey. Akasabi na bra wo koyi last words na wa share the force so.
All right.
Kwa ansa na share TikTok no.
All right. Me the American say
Kwa kojina independent na nka me so my candidate ni bi kanso be gina bi ta wo kwa ye beje wa ma nso aye bi na eyedie be ntira e wo sade yede ne kono a ye yi no e wo so otimi ye den edi nkunimu ankasa enya mpipi nko a ne ye ton de ama no enya wo oba no aduane no a wo ye no kukurunku a ne bedi o no wa miena ni adini saa akonom adonko bites bi e de ababa beji wo ye de amoman ni nyina aye den atobi eti wo ye anu aye den wa ye ni ye de ye beyi no enya yanko a de anke yi nya Dr. Duchum ni sanke yi awie ke tie ba bi anso nya saa ye yi ni ayi nipa ni hu ni fi enkikawa ninimu basabasa eninimu ni eton di amagana fo a o ma edem wo mato ansa na tumi no yensak yakofu obi a yade ne ba sabe na natade a wo behwe na teche tare ha sabe na obi si asuma sinya anu nye we na no abroda gatamu no ene o mayi epani nye we na bo me sotoro no nye we na ye sei nye we na bo ma pe no eba sa Ghana for beka say ye mudi ni ba dia Ghana for ye mpe yenso ye mpe nsa eti aba no aye koto no Yesu Kristo anu o ka kire nasuafo ohwe wo mo sa ni ye bo no ni ye ne say ye ma ye ko ba na senuamu no na mesu na wo yi ye say wo bi ba ni ye bu ni say wo si munsumi o Jerusalem mabia munsum ho ene mumma eti delegates e wa ha na mo represent mo ma na mo dia make choice vote no enya wonko awudi o ye friend no legacy vote to restore MPP and Ghana and ye fra be no amoko akoto legacy vote mo yare te sadia mo ya we e de eja mo ma ene mo nananom e de eja o man Ghana eno ni ade a ewo se mo ye de mo ye na chese ya adwene ye ma ho akwa akiri ye ma no enya nimudie kase ekura enya adwemba kase ekura ye se de odi echesua de odi kan nante na mpanimfo abonefo na ewo nkwada abonefo na de wodu anim ni nya de odi achire na eba abeye ye namotese enkrania san lai ampanimfo nye independent mra ye nya ye hwemre tenten ye jeda matusire sika ni na busuamu no abenya ne ho oni aduma bia no abenya ne ho se tam waya kromfo ka kire ne se Kusi Boafo se waya kromfo wanya kromfo na de bekasua yamfa connection tra aban mu nya santi eno man Ghana ye chechire no Sani ayama ohia dokoro yai amenne uda na wo kan ceiling. Atu ada ne carpenter ni na wo kan ceiling.
Right, abusuani pa ekwotie nani eyowura Kusi Boafo nene ana etwaguye no momode asoro adwenhwe no begu comment section ase ede amaye womra yesi nkonya na yedi nsem no enso eho enkomo na yeni nkomo
Kusi Boafo is there.
O say party there ye friend say ye pay obi a wo clean na ne ho ni asem bia.
You see, Bawumia wo wukura ndisi ono ankasa kwa campaign wotimi busa ne nkofo ni say me sure say nkofo abe o me rare people. Na me send just a signal warning to Bawumia team ni say Arish Raj catch me ewo Peace FM ye nyina ye wo Mageri show so say omu be make sure so omu be wiaye enti be bia omu namu bia me ni di omachi oma omu team ni mu nipa na omu ni omu koye meeting etina ni 1 week ewo Eastern region Eastern region no omu ye meeting no ewo your friend say who take say ya ewo Eastern region no Eastern Premier anajo 9:30 enye meeting papa bia wo kwan omu befa so omu be wiem enti monka nche maami je mensa ebi nso ko no was electoral commission mu nipa na mo ne ko ye no enkofo no oma Bawumia team no omu meeting bi ekoso bia no omu likini out enti me me catch omu say amframa na ebo sisia no eboma yewura kompreko ba ku na eboma omu no yeti ase me Bawumia yewura kensan me maami kotena ne bus ne mu eni me hu omu ye wo bus ne mu nyina no me ka ho me ne omu na ne nam enti no mesrɛ se abawe no Ghana fo ahunu se MPP mpanifo na ngaza ehunu se
Smart Ghana update
enkoyi mamo enti no party no epe win Ghana fo nyina agya tum se enya de ayede ma wa obetumi
update
ade na mo for so catch electoral commission for ni se omumu amu no mu wini aba no na ne mo strategy nso amode tu omanim no masa strategy ni nye omukoye meeting ni Thursday anajo na e okro Kofi be fi nso be flash yo ti mumma omu ntia sese ne omu ye bia ni di omachi omu se ombe make sure se omu de ese basabasa omu hwie mani gu ho na omu se yewura Kennedy de do so a ombe study digidi na gidigidi ni nso nya ba mu pe ene na tese ne o ese esi no change bi ese omu ye na omaye ene nkofo ni bu so omu se na mu ye gidigidi no na yen so ye ba ya ye be ye adwuma de ama Republic of Ghana no obi prayer yen so mu be ye den afedi omu gina omu se okay there be my approach ni nye mon ko mo chi na mon samra bi enti mon kan chiro mo se o man kasa o mu tim no mu no information bi eho bi o mo de ba abonten enti o mo nye careful na enya de a o mo ye 1 and o mo ye 2 na o mo kwe meeting kra o mo de beba because ye the chip wo mo se ye the chip a she obi hu chip se ye the chip she obi hu a ba bi a wo be ko ni obebie wa no ni obedi ebia no ni ye chip ni wura no report ma no o mo free ho Monday ya sankofo ni motere esanko siai ewo kata hotel he ya hotel pasa sa kata hotel eno nso na mempesa medi omudin betutu dwasisi a enti ne omo ye no ade no mo kosoro ba foma enipa na ebeto aba no ma fom ho adwen wie dada enti yesro mo sisi e party ni nyina yie ye wo 169 a drop ya ba 137 from 137 a drop ya ba 87 yesro mo party ni nyina yie party no nyesa na ye beje no Bawumia no mankasa munim se Ghana fo na Muslims kura ehunu se Bawumia ye ba law kom se ne hu ye nyan ade na MPP fo ye ko okukese yi na obia ye nyina ye nya ba ko ne hu se da bi e ba ne first one no ye nyina ye bochi bi Bawumia chi na ade na sisie ai ba biem na mframa na ebo no ebo ma Kennedy ne nyitwi ne ni na chi na sina no Bawumia fo so ase ekwan bi enam so a omu be wi aba ni mama no omu be wi mama abana ye koto no wadi nka pe 70,000 ato na electoral commission adawroma any MPP your friend say MPP mpanifo adawroma election committee enwa nneoma o maye no ye ni aso o ma wipe ni nyina egu enti 212 na e bae no 1000 no tesenkofo no o mawukura aden na wonim se wayiro ho ayadwuma na usuro se wo collection na chenchena wo pese ye force se ye nwie muma wansa na anwato pamcho yempe mojahwiegu yempe emaabo bia because abawe no ne yakɔ hu no den region no obi se metoma Ye ni ya me ni bi omachi. Benya de ebe mo mo wanyi. Mesremo. Na me ka kire mo won say Madawruma na nsen metete bibi na ma yesa na nka menka ho hwe yesi abrante bi di koka se muni masema okoka fa yewura Kennedy ho se wo ayalefo da wo fie wo asa untimi bie wa no no party for enka ho bibia na monso yesre mo Madawruma enipa ni bi ho amuni ne ho information be mamo wo koka watimi akoka kire Honorable Kennedy Agyapong say obi a ye bie ye de ne ba ebe ye campaign ye de ne ba be di MPP anim na ne wo na wo boss na wo ti na fidie so a wo kasa onu oye ace patient obi anim se agye o ma e wo ne ho oba bi a untumi afa ne bia enim se o ace untumi no untumi discuss na mo hu ne mo ye a onu akwa mi na enim se ne atwo no no edin enye ni problem a wo no enye bi ne court na edi ni kono untumi was ace patient and yiri mo mienu nyina no ono untumi ni obi beda na sanye condom a untumi ono enim se oye ace patient wo wegye no ho mantimi discuss ya no wo mutation ho na wo koka kire obi nim bie ni ese ono ye bie ni tim wo abrante nso koye adwuma ewo eyi GBC wo oye adwuma ho ye che wo betu nima police station me kwaji docket na lock nso ma fa mame because wo wi ade o GBC ne pamo you see na mo ho na mo koka tetwa na mo de abeje kese intermediate na my imagine say me fi wom but mon kan che untumi say wan kan che ne nkofo no say omunya sansem hu no omoti odi na onkoye test me kan che Ghana fo say there be abranti asema o kan fa me ho me koye test no say otimi koye test eba be che Ghana fo say me untumi me ni esipe ube hu say that day na me kan kasa me kasa Ghana court bia kra emvedete omu police for kra mechemi emfa me ma me 4 years emfa ma say no makansa me go ntumi hu fi because benene ne nam wono anka so onim se ono na ade a osori anopa wenye bia nom eye bofre hu bofre na haban na awo no eno ne ye de ye nso ma no wo boss wo ace eno no muntimi discuss ya no wo TV so na obi a ono no obi a ne ho dendenden a ono wonam he kwame akomfa ko ndi ne se dem 1 week ni otia na otie ba wo boss pa ye mfa ni se dem 1 week no no maduru na hwese obetimi atena se made atena enti ye ni wo mu ni asem lesson na ye nyina ye fun ba ko mma be se mo pese lesson no mo de fa ho na mo didi obi ene onyamfo obi atema enya de a mo na mo di atemu nyina no mo nipa na mo ne neti wo no asem e da ne so no nsa ye nka ho asem o ye nka ho asem tie pamcho mo nkasa nchiro mo se so mo begina ba bi o mo gina na o mo nyina na obi anton ne candidate tane oton ye wura compare ko pe na atime bi na no wo Ghana ha se oba be rezi billionaires nye millionaire wo obe rezi billionaires ama Ghana na walani up with the 14 nipa 14 omo ye billionaires odo me bu o machi ntesi ye nipa tupe e wo Ghana ha ka ho a na se all the 16 region no ye benya ekro bia benya billionaire region bia benya billionaire na se onipa we wadwen we se ekro masa region ba ko wo billionaire wo ma unim nyoma wo ye wo enye millionaires o ye kan billionaire so be a billionaire wo kro bi ma unim region no enyoma what campaign say koko na yan yet me wo koko 53 acres what say koko na yet no ade obey ni say koko na nko France bi ye be processing nyina mo man just 2 years pe ye be processing nyina 4 years na waje no what say 2 years time no eno say ne oni me ka say me na me de ne to na me interview me busa no what the 2 years pe all the system region obi abenya factory na say nipa we say o makola nwe school wo Ghana ha no ne nam wo mra onya dwuma akola no wie ya na ye press na dwuma ye ready e fe die biem na moje enti delegate mo hwe ne ye wura Bawumia e kan hwe asama na wo kan me ye no e no no so ye me na Bawumia sa ban tumi fru sa na wunyansa nyina sa enti first na ye na ma na wo ye campaign den no say na ya ban tumi fru sa wunya dwen bia biem ene samije mfikura na dwen ye kese samije mfikura numya September Bawumia because wama wotini nya
me na wase na yemfesia emrepem ye beto aso why Alex nyankopon hira papa me ne Alex Tete na edi enkomo na wabiebie nsama hodum e de agu ho especially meetings awodo a between electoral commission officials bi ene nkɔfo a wɔn efi Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia camp wɔn kɔhyia yɛ ɛwɔ Eastern Region Koforidua Premier Hotel na wɔn kɔdi nkɔmɔ Eastern Premier wɔn kɔhyia yɛ kɔdi nkɔmɔ nneɛma mpɛ so wɔn yɛ ɛne adeɛ nyinaa no apaapaa mu ɛde ɛgoɔ ɔpɛni nkɔmɔ no ebi ni o sɛ wɔn yɛ meeting wɔn da so ɛyɛ meeting sɛ wɔn deɛ korɔ no na sɛ wɔn nkɔpɛ policy papa bi anfa ama sɛ korɔ no na
utie nsɛm na Alex kan ya you see sometimes ade a aya na oh yeah a wangasa wonim ne sɛ point na wo sɛ wo di bɔne a de plan evil no na otonso den egu hɔ banefo bubure sɛ wo aboa kɔpase a ɔdoma nkɔmɔ nyankopɔn ɔhwɛ to enti saa ne ɛmɛ ya ɔmo yɛ you see we are confident sɛ honorable Ken ni policies no akɔfam is on the ground na yenim si ne electoral commission ye adwuma etimi ma electoral commission wia election man ana 2024 yetifie na catch your Mr. Nkum de bia say hu say MPP ni bia ni abre so besisi obi election ma na ye internal election eba general election a bema ni ho bema ba ko a MPP behia no e we general election ni ye di nkodim abeje Ghana 2 million ne ono aboken Agyapong cause as chemistry see any ways and means Sasema Alex can say no crepa no kan ya Mr. Nkum na dey say nipa no ni say ye call fair player ontimi wini to be so wiem mal Mr. Nkum say the Alex kan ya no mame enso mi nsi so say se nipa bi wo Ghana ha nei na adwen ne say obe capitalize on tutrasem ana say ode ahoden ne asisie bi ebesisi honorable Ken ohene Agyapong na nipa no wa na yie because this election ya yekoi in as much as the person yeko peaceful election ni ebe wie na bibia ya asomdue mu no obia so ni wa obetimi capitalize on atitrasem this election odi bedi honorable Ken so nkonim never happen because election no ye backup plan wo ho security assessor party no provider so ewo ho obi honorable Ken ebe yi ni so onko ni agent no so a capable person okwakoye na adwuma internal security so ye intact enti say we electoral commission staff now say if you want to indulge in basabasayobia in favor of any other candidate na wadwen ehumenu no this okacho say me krafie say me koye adwuma o man kasa me kwakoye basabasa and obia okoto abama honorable Ken Agyapong no rest assured say your vote will be counted obia to me for to trust them sisi obia because abano ye beto na no pa no so kwesi anwumre awia no mienu ya na ewie ye gina ho from beginning to the end ye be kan declare no obia kofie abasabasa ye bi ansi ho because ye need that form ye be vigilant to me mfa basabasa saya anka tama ye maso ablikumanof no anka odigi u seat unim basabasa ya anka 8 December anopa no nkron wa ma me concede defeat na wa wadwen say internal election ade be ba I am telling all of them obi a ohuwom start revising your notes because no crowd here enye adwuma Mr. Nkum electoral commission for mo adwuma no eye integrity fair play monfa no emeye MPP adwuma na me say yankra na ma mo sare hyemu so metimi na electoral commission yes abi e wo bra party ni abem chese me say time na wo abem mu no witimi use electoral commission ma ho you say be shouldn't behave say as ye de ye bonyansa betimi de patapa de susi obi no this time around there me de emesiri me say election aye koi Mr. Nkum honorable Ken be win because bibia obi abeye na ade say obeye no foul means bia enye adwuma enti wo a support honorable Ken Agyapong go and vote the here say one akoto abana honorable Ken Agyapong vote in there to be protected ye bebo ho ban because who to me mefa kuntuna asese nipa na nto aba ma wonti no ye sort na so honorable Ken ye do so a wo de basa be bana ga se ko ye twam ana ye nkan ana ase den no way Tama Carlos Ahinkra fa ballot paper we parliament cry ye feel minimum kan declare it would the opa bra ne be gina oga say wo de patapa na de ba so the patapa ba ye de opieto no ye de mra be wo ya ne yakaya ba no ama ono aboken wadi ni nkonim mizangu me hone de sort
Any bet me asan yakobio.
I have seen it. Say he's going for the third time and he will win the election. That is it. Until say, until I say, me say unity. Now me breaking yama be down here. Emma Ghana 40 years.
Okay.
And for the good
of the country.
Of the country, in a way, and in another way. So no, bibi wa chide. Baby, you are my bachelor side of
when I who ya de who be ye no be and answer we de nyame aka nti ye hwe ya enye yi
enkomo bi koso I have seen say enkomo na koso am epo kra ye ya abo awie se poni nya bo wie dia ye ho hwe a sa na wo sisi
na se pona ntimi amo anwia
pona ntimi amo anwia ani ne ebeja ato ba still na de ye hu ne de sa na ebi hu no tiana de sanity
asama wo kan de
emodu pa but this is ahead of us
no
say how they starting no it's ahead of us as a country you know ebedru ba bi no the oil premise the all pay to me the oil campaign the oil ye ne nyina no beba be ye dem asem beba bi obi ne yere ne man na dofo nkomo champagne ebetu ne dem MP abonten se enya wura de mahunu na de meka no unity a obi aha no political party bi enye ha no se de me mahunu start unity na angel for kofa Roger video we eba abonte se prophet Roger bekan enya unity ha ho enko campaign ha ho for sika to no
de nyame aka ne no ane
ha ho na etwen be 16 years and sana be sika no wakofa dia baby because ebe jinsemu.
And I'll say it will be for the good of the country.
It will be for the good of the country, for sure.
Abusia yane as usual say well we nimse mekase akofa Roger City International bafi ha enti yane Prophet LD Roger ene ebon komo ena no pay de odi abebomu de age minsem minimse also age wonsem bi
nyame adom Ghana for other romanti bibi ekoyi ene ehumobra Ghana for die hunu yewra kompreko Agyapong ene MPP amanyoko no nyinada mamfa fidie so na menchia election committee yewra jo wise nhihia ode to ho no nimdie mehu se oba DVL onora ma DVL ebeye DVL yewra jo wise onyame hia na nipa bia wo firi wasimu ni wobusia onimdi a ode boa MPP na agina ne naso no mesese o ma aka nyina so o mon support na mpenifu e wosoro no momwa na monye critical meetings ebe ma party no ehunu way forward ne yeso moye aye betimi aba aben mu nse ye obi bia o mata say mo putting it together na party ne ba power no monyere mo because monim say NDC omiye neighbor MPP omiye NDC neighbor two of party ni nyina no obia nya atamfo but omiye nkofo a we ba na we yakọ na MPP will record e wo krom ha NDC nso will record e wo krom ha MPP mon kai say na munhunu mochi na munhu mon hyehye mon niema ehwiegu ye no ba bia ye be hyehye free na mfa fidie so na menchi amira kompreko o ti region o ye jumatin ejumane o ti sabre ye ko Alfred Obin krum e wo sewi bebieni yura Alfred Obin me bona basu chiano kese pa nwumre eyi na ekọ no Saturday ndi yura kompreko san na chi na me de me da ho Sunday me to Sunday kura be 8 because Alfred ye minipa na Alfred Obin yi a wo ye no sehwifo nyina metu chemamo titiro ne Kwame Karu Kwame ye sehwi yoso oyo hene ewo yoso Kwame de minim ne be 30 years me kono oti Alfred Obin hola ahemfu nko na etwahia na chese me hu ne kura no frame sio Kwame kuma se kura midi wo na mkofele ye na mebusa wase nti Kwame Karu baby a wo bia no woni wonu amisanyame ene nkofo nyina no
michia mo se hwifo nyina omo ye nipa a oni omo nama omo wo do papa omo ye nipa papa except only Ira Bawumia kwa na ntimi ahwe afred obenso oye nipa papa oye nipa nyame hye obibia na onhia oma nipa 5 na ejina na se nyame ahoden se momu bia ye ntiatere nchem so obi ka obi ese obi anya ne campaign se ne etie na minim se MPP will bounce back na me fa kwenye so na media strength of eye adwuma ma ona boken ne se menya into kakra bia me hu se nipa ni bi mu wo a omode information free Kennedy ho edeko brain omde bi free ho edeko Bawumia omunjai me mpese me bobo nkofo din na me mpese me information
o strategies no omode
yes munjai pam chopa because ya brepa ansana edu baby eden no munyina mudwane koy yen kakra bi ne ye adwuma yi ma kena ntine no ya shada wochire ene ye hwe ne oma ekoso ntia pam chow yen nyina ye de unity no ya wonso wo Bawumia ho a enfa information emma Kennedy ho wo educhum ho a enfa ho information emfemma enye you can say honesty and as anything. Dishonesty. Yes, over party, over camp we now the information free camp we yakwa. And no emboa mamon yesa, you are yenino. Yes, me mamma's uncle for my mom 1 week. Could you better so I wouldn't me? Obetemenka. My mom bear 1 week, I'll bear 2 weeks. Me expose o money me nyina mo keke nyina me bobodin one by one nipa we obae no onabo ken we no nenam say na oye we leak information the ma we oye say enye ntimunjai na yenye campaign no solid na emwa because Ghana for ye willing say omo beboa yura kompreko na me fa kwenye so no masre businessmen o me ton cars am import cars spare parts aboso kan o kan shifo kukumpefo mokolafo dumfo magazine railways mbodefo ma munyina me de mazasade am de to manim se ma mo ye business fo ni nyina no mo hu yewura compre komobo na enframa na ebo no ebo de amano nti mo fa mo de nka ho na mo hu se ye ni politicians ya adwuma wo krom ha che this is a timer yenya businessman a wagina nti all the businessman ba dia ba ko pa me introduce ama businessmen ne say yes mo businessman bia control nipa more than 1,000 2,000 e bi kra control be 5,000 enti mo na mo man kofu ska no mkokoto aba enti mo nua na ade bia wo yiska ene wo yesei hospital ene wo yesei mo nim say it's not easy so bi betimi ayi wono ane personal money $6 million say you rather despite mo na mo say yo mo yi yes ane man ne wakoye say ene wa donate we ne wa say businessman bi be gina ho no obeyi seska no se me dey see ade we dia mo man since Kwame Nkrumah time ye home businessmen nkofu e wo kroma ye politicians a wo say menya me ho ntimi de we nso no oye ya no de akotofie wo America no akoto Germany no akoto Canada but ono de wo se wo invest a wo invest ni nyina wo kroma ene nkofu e wo kroma enya adwuma ye ene mrantie enti businessmen sa mo kroma enya mawreho say ye maba we nam no mu nya adwuma nye kohwe nkofo a se ma wale wo mu nyina no emema nyina gu prison ene ya me si se unya 500 Ghana bi hye wo ho ana 1000 bosumi unya wo de bosumi bi atofo ansawam wo kuma se afa prison yard ba bi obabia na fo ani kohwe mrante e be wale maba wa e wo kroma no o mu nyina aiden e wo prison e ya homte enti obi ba no so oba no de njuma all the system region krono so beti o memma ni bebre o ha anye omo pese omo bokro no bet ajuma ai ni hontia nti ye besre say pamcho me de ministry na ni businessman because minim se me e bia me office metimi afa nipa be 50 na se obi ono so ye billionaire no na Kennedy asem a waka ni campaign ni na me interested wo ba kumu say o so be raise billionaires e wo Ghana ha na we raise billionaires nso ama party no eye mani je sound masa we are talking about billionaires
now what can dey but ana you be say ne obeka ne ye nsonko
ne ye no say yes majari o ti we yentimi mfa wo ye fa wo say obi e bia media station bi na media station po be no okro ma so chen despite media na me ya me na obi fawa onim se watran konso anim wo na wo enkokọ na wo konongo wo ye adwuma wa ha wo ye adwuma ye very free ni na nipa na sawa wo nim ndwuma waye e wo kroma any factories inti se wo kasa wo se wa line up with nipa 14 billionaires e wo ne back omo pese akatu pe na chese billionaires na ba ku bia be fa one region inti se wo bi mpo wo Ghana ha ne ye wo nya nipa tu kura ye billionaires wo Ghana ha no de omo kan 14 ho anya 16 ba ku bia fa one region masa se region ba ku wo billionaire wo ma majeri onim ensunsan so edeba emma omane homene nije sem se ye koko mi okoko so what I say me wa ba more than 53 acres of cocoa ono Kennedy say oba cocoa yem process cocoa bi enko France bi yem money 2 years pe nti nije sem kese pa say me say a businessman say wo kroma say mommo munua no na oba me de mageri ade yem ahomte ne say say me hwe Donald Trump ni appointment na me de compare Kufuado appointment na me de compare Muhammad ya ye de agro bi ne yedi obi a tese woni kapre woni hwe ye ne amane position kese afisi ka no fom no benkum ni nifa na nkanye sa anka be ye den ne etime de MPP a minim ne de obi ni kunu ye de oma kwa akotum ya hankofo be ma ne oba no abom Jesus Christ MPP e de oma kwa akogum na ne ba no wie school eko university wie ko ye ni doctorate eko ye djuma kese wie a ekina bi no de ne yebeka na yaka say no ye de say nipa ne ba ye be den ene yetimi aka say sa akola no na okosku ana ne classmate fo abeka say o papa ene o maame ye de omo nyina akokotum mu e wo prison ye de o maame te say family no ba ni free mu family na be ma ni free mu akola no ni classmate fo ni namfofo te say wagu obie no mase wagu obie no mase nti yesre epamcho say MPP baby adu no aya homte nti monkasa mon gauge empanifo a won neck soro ho me hu say raben ene Tuesday ni ase neck meeting nti minimpa say omo ye meeting bi aba minim ni esi ebia me wi an me find out ahwe meetings na omo ye you know say council meeting or say whatever omo call in last week say say prozi na ho na omo so yes omo nye wi nti yesre MPP for say mamu dim mo gina bia na MPP mpo de nkatete ayenimi ko omo bokro no waban mu mpa ko omo de nwoma yes say mo yakra chefo ko omo de nwoma kobo machi na mo de mo waban ma mo fa bibi mpa mo de niam ni besie na ban ni nya 2 years 3 years ye wa wo dia mo waban mu anam diska na ye nioma na ye show off no obi ehu na ene MPP na mogu MPP enum asese nti mesre say Ghana for aye ready say omo ni mwadwuma omaye na Ghana for ni nsu ni madwuma NDC nso eye nti enim obi
na sese sa progs and mono obi asaka ne your friend is album amode beto aba
majari obi asaka na funny thing wo mse mam ga za mo abon yo nanka enipa ni nyina ye 212,000
delegates never
to abano and omo ye unimade aba omo ye ya na de no kudu 280 1,000 Majay take it from me Jaini Okano me see
album the one of them come east
what they don't gas politics and one in here motra moke kan ho yo what they gas and one Bawumia me see Majay election committee a work campaign party office national IT for no any election committee na omote ye no any yisi for any yes ejuma
copy ni bi so
yes.
What are you doing about it?
Enti eno na copy no and mo twa 280,000 no o ma yi ni nyina for wide integration me kan party ni mpanifo no omo de omo nim me kan obi obafra bia wo ye hierarchy no onim se ne krachi kan no enye onka bosirimuka asem omo ni electoral commission omo yi sa 280 no omo yi ni nyina na kwa 212 NSC ye de beto aba no enti masa me ka cho no he Thursday and then be Tuesday Thursday ye twam anajo 9:30 na Bawumia nkofo 4 no mo ye meeting wo friend say Kofodua Eastern Premier na me di o mo chino
meetings
ye meeting na meeting no mo ye na meeting papa majari enra nipa 3 kata hotel na the same cruise no so atibako na say so crop anymre no mo ye meeting majari me say na the way ahana me ne aristra agete no ka chere me say ye be wi
o ene de ogeya anu hono
eya no hu yo me dey fan serious
me say
mo wo album adi na chisi majari yo baby krom handsome na ye kan
na mo album na mo kodu baby na ebi ni wa nya wa dance no no
tina hona kasa o gaza sana politics ne mama gaza so
election be batoti election is transparent
yo
obi any meeting na we fa ho ben
emfa me ho
because who wa
meeting e ba affect
say na we don koyo meeting na strategize
ya call no hu obi say papa me tuma wo hwe ade ni nie me tuma na thank God say validation no
Kennedy obi kata na ni amu bewia no amanu asem na ko Ghana me ne interview o say Nigeria ma make to election dey wo da ye bewia it will be a year and go back on go you. That is it.
Intimen Cassani has a mecano, minimum American.
Never said I can't say the Papa Copeno say, oh, yeah, so be first one now.
My ye be first one, and dear Nam Wamo, and now a leak is say now Mupase, Murega, still Mupasemuya. Majari, menya your money in America information, Mikita or lesson we want here beno. Majari many dear true, me can say, ye ma Bawumia 1 inch. Na de na ye go sum kofo de manoka monhwe ye twa prosinim ye twa we prosina ye twa mu no ekun kofo no ekun mo kra me na me ka kiro esese omuhunu se da bi nkofo mani abre ne betim de party no e de akop problem nti ye nyai se na no adechin bia kwan on befa so mu be wi abanim nko a ene hia omo be ye nso ye ni da ho ye ma mo kwan on majari I swear to God say obi be wi aba we mu pa no majari unya sa chance
enti ani na ese mo ni be da ho
ye ni dia da ho but me catch from say ni omo be ye bia meeting bi omo be bia
meeting there forget about meeting now who collection aka wonye meeting aka be there wonye strategic meeting
ya betimi for meeting no kasa kire no delegates na ye wadwuma yi that's all
the contest election say o tra
party ni gina ba bia enya edi problem obre party no monso mo dia an say ye pe we sabi nse be fa so a ye be wi anko a what kind of life is that we say means ye be wi anko a eno ye den so what I say majari unu obi collection or more than 70,000 dawa ufin say ya deketwa so what I say me catch us 280 e ye den no matimi arobu ni nyina afri ho no matwa ni nyina na ba 212
okay why na ye
because party MPP for
election committee
yes
discrepancy there's a discrepancies be me no me go me na it's one petition woman say woman yes adwuma
majari
one petition
o say one petition
because let's say committee ni yen adwuma
committee no adwuma de o maye na information ni free baby ansa na ko we ne wawu ne ye de hyem ne oni ha majari ni o ma ne ye basa omunjai na sisi no sankofo na ye reggae machine no ye kura om side and side baby am befa bia ye kura mo enti o munyan mo munya sa attempt no sade ne koye ma wa na koye ma san koye ma wa na eno nche se heaven bafom enti kwan bia wo befa so a wunim se uwie mu nkofo ne kasa mu wie abanim a edi mogagro ne beba edi se ne besie mo still eno ana mo be ye mma mo kwan so sa enti mo na mo ye sa adwuma ni nyina no pamcho hwe the searchlight a me ma search ato om so no be bie ni ho amobe fa ade chia mintimi liki aje me yesa me nka aje majari aje me yesa me nka I'm telling you enye bragging na me kan o de on tia se omunim omu ne me kan omunim se da bi akwai ba bi o de fei anu ohye so what I say enti omunyai ne nyina no ye wo campaign omanka so omu se campaign no mo ye no emfa omutimi ko na ye Bawumia na koye mi cha na Bawumia na ka chom say delegates nkofo ye baye mo ye sure say omo ye rare people because hwe majari eniama ekoso na wo me kan e bia wo nim be omo wo side ho na ne me kan omo nim say da bi akwai ne wo kan asempa na wo ka kire ye no nti ehwe ni nti majari me de ne mesre any delegates for ne say omu hu emebun ne mabaawa na awie school no yewura kene say ono na ban mu no oba uwie secondary school uwie university uwie yanya fe na ono ne ma omu wie school omu be wie no na adwuma nkasa hwehwe omo wose saa setup ne bi en wode nkofo a wala ne up with 14 billionaires egu krom ho egu nachi a onya ya swan inna no na obeye den na sankofo ni nyina take over o ma Greek ministry so a o de Kotemale o ma we so a o de Eastern region o medication so o de Central region o ma we so a o de ha na chese ama ye Ghana no enya ne ntoma pefra ontimi en disappointed because Kennedy no wo ye obi a o pe challenge se wo se Thailand fo na edua mo no de o mu nyina bebe krom ha no ma ba be dua mo no yen kra mo mbabiem wo se enya oba ye instant wo se 2 years yen dua mo ebo yen kra bi mbabiem 2 years yen kra nkokọ na yetimi kra nkokọ nko 16 point something billion dollars wo se within 2 years a season enti manjari yen mbo ye homode na businessmen no mombo moden na momwa papai na enuoma ntimi nkoyi na ye koyi obi ehun se Kennedy eba ebelidi MPP a party no obia beba back to the party enti mo amo kasa no me de amade sede ne se eya nanka me de we asem ye mfato na no hini to ene ala ni we na no hini to MPP ba power na fi ono wankasa ne party no ontimi mpanitrechi enti kasa na ye nyina me so me ka ho bi ye kasa baza no obia hwe ne de yi se ne ba ko wini a enkoye se unti o kono na wankasa wugina kwasi kono wugina kwantia enti mu empenifo te se MPs any party ni empenifo a mayi manim a mo ye niam bi no obi ehwe mu ye nyina edi ni hwe enti at the end of the day no oni a wo pa wo join a yedin se kasa na akoka a edi problem beba hwe se atache ansem okokan hwe se ni amanfo popi ni nsem de ba yes school kura wo school ko wi atade ye publishing you mo publishing be nyina majeri
and they say political trivialities.
Hey Mike ade na o ma publish say date say majeri wo classmate and na ye call baby
enye wo okowi atade na
na majeri mi ankasa nso minim misa ben santi beku uni misa santi beku to timi to ona na ye MD no o ye de no call to ona na e we no onya problem no so kai ura visa say me no kra ko hoda ewo mo friends kufuo hotel ne nchen friends abronsan tenten friends
trasa kufuo abronsan
na ade ne ho na MPP mpanifo no mba be meeting atachia esan MOU makomako 450 enti se wojingo fosika osan MOU no waji wojingo fosika na tacha
ana mo ya politics am keka nsem se ya na moja
majelu do kasa ya kasa ne kan za keke
na nipa be se obi ache na
na njo fin za tacha
o wasesa sika wakobi se dia woken
abai MOU
osan no na obi ache na
edi baba onu anim so meche no onu kasa dim so mo meche
no mo wi ana mo ba be pre unity o
unity
mo keka kasa mo
ya mo ya wayo majali na me na mai ne waye no ne nkofo e de be kan nia ye ma wa ban dwuma ne ye se ya nia wo waye no eno ne nkofo be kan nya nia me ma ye o enti se wonim se wo ko serve public ne dia Republic of Ghana no na wo so e off ne wie ne de Ghana flag ne show nsa onia ma wo ye nyina se wo hwe ne papa bi nkofo bi ti Westland he ya ye fe ne Eli o ye fole na okita more than $15 billion no de be kruma atachia pe kwan bi so ebeduru manim waji akwa ni sika nyina so ye lawyer
dia enya ma ni bi all delegations have been for that year. And I'm saying yeah, can see Elina. Okay, can say
oh, okay,
Obianko jina court. Obianka bibia na so na se me wo court ni. But the aka say na wakwa kwaji obi we, and wakwa kwaji obi we. And wakwa kwaji. Is it because okoka say bo okobo ekuti a omo obi edi and majama mu kasa sa.
There be na ukoka obi asema obi nka wo de. Majari ukoka obi asema obi nka wo de. Enya woni msa wo ye clean
ono ne se yemfa obi a omampanyi obeko yu wara kwa ka kansem sa na oka so mbo obi edi ade obi koji ma no menti ase de ntia momadia ma I don't get it I don't get ade na momadia ma mo
na hwan na aja ma no
na nya na momogu amugu so awoga ogra to say okoku ogo wi atade
na
okoku obi
awoga e yo no an classmate for na de ba you
abe obi anka so ogo wi atade ne ya de ogo wi atade
oh majari
what is that
me no one say
what is that?
Oh, you be a nanka me mpesa nka me di ne ho nkomo kura. But one say wankasa no wo ho a oneye ne wo ye wo kroma bia majari ye nyina ye wo issues o ne obi ye bia ba bia wo nam bia nipa de omani hwem ne wo ye wo ko school no bia wo ye adwuma ne wo ye bia nipa de omani hwem enti wonya ba public domain ma na wo ye bibia just be careful na hwɛ sɛ me de na maye uni krom ha na Bawumia kɔka dollar yasɛm dendenden ba issue adentina dollar yes anke ye na manfo de take Bawumia enti sɛ unya be public figure onsem bia wo ken na nkɔfo ɛtro omo stampo omo de to enti sɛ bibi trigger enya de amanfo be gya wo sɛ ko free o ye wo krom ha wo ho Bawumia sɛm ɔkeka fa ama ho ohia na amanu meaning the Jan campaign platform ohia na amanu say last minute no eni se friend so ne mahama megina 101 na hwensama se na chesem se mehu sa akonwa no the presidential seat no ote so a you and the vice president and the vice president na MC to me wom na me manje ani mpo se nka Bawumia be free akonwa so na kasa kora de ka fi hunu ka na hwensama popi ba enhyem kunan nti me de ne me kan se me marketing na meye masemu nyina ne se enkofu e wo Ghana ha omo nhwe Yura Kennedy nsema awoka ye nyina adwuma wonya adwuma wo ye bema no ha wo kasa obi en respect wo bi mu nti ye mmabunu ni nya adwuma nye ye mie factories say o papa yaba na say 1 billionaire abefi me region majari enkran ha tena din I'm telling you send me come ho wa wo be sori anopani a wo fufuo na mo de aduane tatao na che say wo ye comfortable majari enkran ha efra no pa bepem samri mebe wo be no masoma na wakoto indomi enye se osika nso hwe obi abotomo so what I say enti no enkran ha setena no esenka ye regions ni nyina na nioma wo ye bia no hwe me wo mpreko me wo nkoko me wo mponche me wo wei nenso wo be den ja wo be kasa obi finkran no akotena ho ana majari me wo preko bi kura me just say ne aboa ni si o ma isi ya kese no obi no nto preko ana uni adamfo preko
me ni adamfo be preko okay hi ni Zadwa Point ya ni go Alex so yeah Citizen Ghana leader and founder member of the Honorable Kennedy on hina Japan the team it's a mona mamo born to one ni ade nyina se hwe nim ni ade amoko ye amanfo budget Honorable Kennedy
yes
just a bomb budget so na amumu say adwuma no for so reflection
enye bibia no budget so ndwuma no papa komo die papa branche no emrantie na nkwala wie school na tramo ene obehwe kwan ho ofa kwan ho ba bia majari me nje appointment o Kennedy o me pa appointment be pa se ye behu se Kennedy abe president emrantie gina traffic mo ton ade masa mo bejai no mo paper glass mo beja akoye dwuma factory Debi ye wo say ekroma kra majari emrantie o form so mo nye cleaning kra ekroma bon majari ntutu kwan hu se Ghana bon hwe ye young guys on betimi aye adwuma hwe no an say emrantie nyina mo mpadwuma wo behu na bi gina traffic im na e wo say o mo pe quick money ni amane coins majari hwe se ni akra nyina si yafi na maje say me o bus stop bi enu we wo kroma me hwe no wo de eniema Kusi wo se ton ade wo ne obekọ ba bia no mu yi niema ase kroi eni pani enso this MC fo ni MMDC fo yi so wo hwe ne papa yi ka che delegacy a majari very interesting waka che say oni amanfo anya social contact omo bia tro ni din wo do telephone number wo de wo email wo de wo bibia wo se oba ni nyina no omo ki na omo de ato system ne so na edan aye data enti oba ya no obje president a enkofu a obi enjuma ye be form first enya ban enjuma nye police asem ne yekan enye soldier asem nye navy ena de bia ne no nko ani enjuma politician timikriti baby ye factories a o se ye be process koko no ewo kroma bayire ye de ba be ye bayire powder be te se neat fufu ye de bia ko Nigeria ebi kwa brochire ebi kwa ye nema factories bebu o Ghana ha o se foreigners na billionaires no omo de 70% be shem o man Ghana so e de 30% asopoto enti mrantie ne maba ne benya dwuma ne ye kase ye clinic roma majeri mibusa ase olman akwan sisi papa education some obai mi mebusa no say yewra na education so obey ne den chiri mu kakra because o kire mbusa nse rules no hwe ekufuado abedi 8 years Eastern region yakwan nyina da mikrom hu a areho o se ono oba na wo ye minister road minister na wo ye kwan engineer na wo be ye kwan ni betutu within 5 years no obejeli oba me ye di watum wo contractor na wo ye kwan no etutu no kwan no se ne omo ye kwan agire yesi o aje obi percentage nti na ese kwan ni hu sika na ese se otimi ye ne kwan ni solid no na manfo age ni nyina ebi na wanhu akwai papa MP no wo so I'm run about you your friends say so I'm run about MP your friends say chairman
honorable chairman
your friends say Kofi Job akwan wo ye Kumasi atutu na ye chairman Sambuzu oje card nation butum o the scan command of parliament no agi scan no amana ye kwan basa e kwan ojo wise your friends say chairman Sama Kofi Job ye nyada unim chairman na say Kofi Job the scan brand of parliament majari ya politics ndi ya need ya chiro Kumasi akwan yo mu ye nyina atutu because of chairman Sambuzu nti. So what I say, me wo Kennedy fie no omode akwan hu sika akosem akwanta etuama obi a o se credit ne ma ye de contract ne ma no no pam nkofo no ye brand $14 million o pam wo motese
nti dia wo kan wo gina court abetumaka
se mi jakọ say
dia wo kan
oh no nim se Kofi Job anyi Kofi Job ska be
dia wo kan wo gina court
na me gibi nya no anka meka na Kofi Job
dia wo gina wo ya wo kan
na me chese no mo betimi anka
ono abuchi emesa bonzo ajejeka
chemesa bonzo no enim se waje cat nti ontimi fenko no won gas duro a wonimu woje Kumasi kwa ma anya ni nyina
me ni hu adanse bia
na hwan ono a onim so what I say enti eno na Kennedy se oba road bi a ye ni kroma no untimi nje cat uye ye de man contract na se ukoye kwan ne kwan no uko gisika uye minister ana se uko gisika free wo na wo contractor no wo bedem engineer no wo bedem. So what I say enti akwan o se akwan ne enya broni bie ni wa ade ne ba se onko e factory o ba bi na akwan ne nya obedi echiako nti esre se Ghana for momwa na titu ni businessmen no magazine for ba bi amwo bia no momwa na yewra compre ko monkasa nche delegates no na omunye den na omuntimi aba ne ma no me frad bala no be frad bala wia munum se NDC de yeso o ma ye mokashiri o ena omo so ya omo so omo mbokashiri na miwie no na me ka se friend say mesre yewra sedu nketia ono ne da NDC ano chairman wadawroma yewra mahama kwa na enra me kasawo yewra juros ne fidie ni so SYZ katre ze mesre no enkofo bi ebo NDC na mo ba power no ebi fiye ye party nim timi pese me bo mudin nungwa chairman mesre bo modin na baby kura se mo de ama ye nipa na munji nkofo ni sika mfamo because mo ka say Greater Accra mo pay half of the MPs Ashanti region mo pay 29 to 30 kofo no mo ma 33 omo si omo senka omo sika omo de omo ya brofo omo ye mo dwuma ma mo nim ne meka no akwa na wa ye package na ase ono no wa ye adwuma bia mama mo de mo re contract e ma no wo nkotu ya nkofo ne ka nkofo ne ikam mo hwe na mo nsate wo mo na so mbehu am so ma package wo mo so mo nka hu masa mo hwe na mo nsate nkofo no na enye fine because ade na mo ka no yewra Joshua la bi udin wo mo unim se wotena meeting ni mu bi enti mo hwe na mo frɛ team na mo ye no mo bo a mo nsate wo mo na ye kan me kan political talk nti mo kasa na America na se
okay all right high need 100.9 touchlight esunie Alex Kwakucha te free honorable Kennedy on Agyapong the camp na watch the ekoso ewo ho nyame ya adoma ya wada touchlight no monfa cheme ya wada touchlight maso ejemete for monfa enchem na ya de nso amebie phone lines and enumere yembie phone lines and enumere because of time constraints ene edwuma bia bekoso studio akakra nti monfa cheme wagu ade na wo kan etwa to ka cho MPP for ne yanko
oh me de ne mesre MPP for nyina ne se madawroma o mankasa mpenifo ne wosoro no mohu sigana no se ne ade ne ekọ no emframa no ba ko na ne ebo no ne ebo ma Bawumia ye nyina ye ti ase mohu sisisi emframa na dane ntima mo mfo so mo ofo so ho a onembubu na mpenifo no mo supporto na munim se ye nyanya mankasa nso ma babonten kasa ye pepawa ye nyanya Kennedy for Frat Bella munim se ekosro ba foma ye beje power no because NDC for ye we wo ye nim se ne omote smart say omo so omo we ye omo nim se ne omote obi enim ne nyonko standard nti momwa na sɛ mo se yɛ pepa wanko ade a ene momwa ne mfa de no ema yewura kompreko yen yenema yewura Bawumia na yenyina yekoboae ene ye campaign wa wafidie so di adanse sɛ ye adwuma mu odene nti wo bia wo di Kennedy achi no ye adwumaden Majari ya ye adwuma wo na wo nim sɛ me nso a making Majari enye sɛ ene bia ye start adwuma ene bia wakase o da bi kokwa Alex efe no wabam na wo kan bibi keke Majari me de tambia no wo nim sɛ mitumra na machiresi because ya ye adwuma ye nso no me started di Kennedy achi no since 2018 me kan Kennedy asem me started ton Kennedy no ye bi mu ho a omaba omopese omose campaign na omude information ko ohun ye ginema bepem na ma affect ye adwuma kura enso still na no ye da so Majari we Majari so me chere wade so 20 we 2021 no me started 2018 me started campaign marketing so hone ba no one message ode ba so o block e o si no emfa me papa di makura so pe president da enso ne yeginam ne ye adwuma no bepem ne nti ne mo ba na mo ye adwuma na munye me honte ma munye twitwa na mu bigo edu ba bi emu oden no munyina mudwane ko one side ye de adaso aginam bepem sa amri ye da so ye adwuma no nti epamcho nye mu ye bia no mu hunu se ye anye ni ye anka mo banka enye big munye ni ye na mo ye ni ye a me de obi a wo Kennedy camp bia manage no obia manage no kopim se ne waka na to me makoma so se obewia Kennedy aba ama evidence nso aba se mu wia ye osoro eno pe na ama mani abre be pa se ye be gya ye ho so obi be wia biem ne de and ye
all right Alex Kakutete dan so ba be kan ho
the reason why Mama Baha ni yewura Kennedy Agyapong
okay
ntina ba santiman mu na me ba santiman mu a ye baba ba hwe se nyema ye toto e de aye election no bibia akoso bokwa na se enkoso ye na me ba ye no me hu nyema bebre mese the election committee more national say bibia candidate the 5 aspirant candidate for no obia be raise concern e de abano munjintum no monfanye aduma because me ba me hu one or two things bia wo album ni ma sebe enkoye
okay e
wa Ashanti region ha enkoye kra
bibiti se sen say gibia from a on hwa wu hu ana say amanfo din nim
yes me hwe ma ebi mu kra wu but me anon de metiase omo wu no I think say the election committee for nama IT for na direction say omo no muntimi ma yen identify okay yen fa ida say stamp ana ink bi nto omo so e say wewu endi no sebe constituency no wo mu no omo kwakoto aba na sa ni bako no wewu a ontimi nto aba
ana che obi di ni din ba omo hu say
yes wewu
okay
ana 2 ye ma mi sen hu no obi wo kra na 2023 abo na ede to aba no eno na yesan ba use di ato aba na obi a no nye delegate ba me ba Ashanti region me hu se obi wa 2023 no nka abo no but me ba en ma ba hu se sa nipa ko amafo ebre o mu a no mo nka abo no but o ende ye de o ma sha abo ni
eno ma be delegate
eno ma ba be delegate omonye former CEO omonye former constituency executives we polling station asem na America
okay
and the polling station you know obi on kan on I pay the ba tamne de na shemu dia na that means sebe nyema enkoye
me te say yes former constituency chairman for no omo kan we unyin say sa ankrofo na we the police station executives
we the police station executives
okay
police station executives pa me mpese me bobo omo ekwan da o de metimi ambo but say no me pese eno no the election committee yewura Kennedy Agyapong eyom so mundi enimu no omo na me no mo kwakodi hu nkomo se me ba Ashanti region ana nyema amababa be hu nie
okay
enti no ese yetu wana mo
okay
go ese ne ye kama mo ye kire mo constituency na ekosa na on be hu se da bia ese mo koye ejuma no yi but ne ye no so ye petition kwakwakoto amomo we say nyema no mo ye wo Ashanti region constituency ni mi no ye hu
constituency ben pa na hwa sa ankrofo yi dos pa
constituency ya me ko menhia south abebre egum ye menhia south ya o ko wa bebre
okay
bebre gugugum obi wa ha on to 2023 on carbon no abon onim but e dina baba beshim enti adenti na e dina baba beshim me question am de ma e fence menhia south constituency executives
na je se kro no yo mo boy de o ma nya mo wunyi se proxy na nkom yo ma je se mo koto na mo de fa ho koye sa di
proxy ni de we mu se proxy no ye nyina na nke ye party for but proxy no na e adwuma bi on beso mu di ma one candidate o mu nyina ye MPP for but ye ma ho kwan a na already no o ma biodia ma over 30,000 obi lead by 30,000 and the proxy nearby a dianka, Yera Kennedy, Japan, Brian Champion, Kwamne Japan, Nana or say Dutum, and Kabayan and Communion Uncle, or Mavia. Not to say, to Abano, if you lead 30,000 men, I make a by proxy. Maybe video and watching out, Diamond. Maybe I don't know. I had a discussion if you are a so slow, but you to now I so aggressive to the sense, about we are a Ghana for that. Sempen phone to one and one and 10 to me. But also public in a say day. Again, a betcha among who's a new way 2023 no count 2025 Wababe count. And then I make a say, Yem penny phony be your margin say the way youth and the Ghana for you to say, Young Fire Canada, Japan, Embra. Now on Baji Ghana. Na de Nyankopon adoma Nyankopon de adom ne so mbebo man Ghana na man Ghana nko na enim no ye mpanifo ni bia yo madwen so mo mpene
okay
eni ndine ekwan bi o mbefa so ama Yera Kennedy Japan ntimi nya tumi no o mbe so mo fa so ba ye suso ye adwen se de Nyankopon ahye ese Yera Kennedy Japan pese Yera Kennedy Japan be di president wa Ghana ye so ye adwen se be bi o mo befa bia ye be di ekire enti de omo ye nyina ye di ekire eni ntina ye hu no
I see
ade bi omo ye bia no ye mama ti se nyama bia ne epo bia omo bo bia ne ye hu eni ye besane wow epo bia omo bebo bia ye be hu ye besane
obi be bi sa se wo di wani form a nipa dodo sen pa na hwa sa omo amon kan we police station for ye de omo aba be kam
na me hwehwe menhia south de no kwa me hwehwe na over 50
menhia
south nko over 50
and Bantama dear.
Menhia south nko a.
And Bantama
and I'm over 50. Menhia south so na sebe Yera
na je say ba menhia south dia. E wo se dache hene na
Poko constituency. And so eja on na 2024 no. Ye na first vice president.
Yes.
So I just say and no omo person mo bo modern no mo di bigum na esan ye but Yera na po Emrenu nso se obeye vice president.
Enti no ka se yanye ya adie ya. Because o make comment bi say Kennedy Japan so man nyoma adie ya nka Kennedy ye president.
Yes. So ana make a choma menka bibi ncho 2023. Met me gina ha. And there be me gina ana make as a 2023. National estimate 15% and the my Yera Kennedy Japan.
National.
Me na make a chero. Asema make me nim da video yi. I estimate 15% and the Yera Kennedy Japan. But a buyer no, Yera Kennedy Japan, I'm 37.6%.
Okay.
When I'm a rep Yera Kennedy Japan, our national head office.
Okay.
Yera Kennedy Japan, yes, oh no, hey, yeah, estimate Yera Kennedy Japan, bet me 37.6%.
And
you so few months. But so many 9 penna Yera Kennedy Japan, you so here. You use state machinery at the boy Yera Bawumia. You use national boy Yera Bawumia. But then, Sanya money in any or any power. Then, no Bawumia na police chairman. We will do baby constituency be a tour by a so yabu way. Okonofa, make I say a woman or what the Kennedy Japan office world national. Yabu mami.
Alan crowd in Nippon.
Ya bon Alan so ya bono. Enti opo sanya mani nyina na Yera Bawumia na chairman of the Ghana Police. And then when you're chairman of Ghana Police, and then there will be a new beer. You're going to boot to boot. Election you're going, as soon as you but what obey what you say? Obey we are election in Ababa Kokra, no the Mobia, Sabian Fatano, Yampene.
I see. And what are you saying to all Kennedy campaign reps and all the regions? Because if you are crying about dictator, I just say you are expert.
Yeah.
And as a man, I'll catch you across the country.
And my message, my opinion, be you say, region be a dear show and sir. Message say, Ube maintain our office to an amount a call region anymore. Next albums na ye printed the mamono make sure say album na obehwe audit album very well because ye nua no mi omo adwen say chinchin about me na ombe so mo de ne ba but grassroots and Ghana for say omo mpe ba omia
and you almost say e de ne ba 1 million times crap
almost omo mpe ba omia endu ne so ye na de bia de meka ene say yewra alan kojo chairman kama na sebe de de ye no ebi beto ba omia de yewra alankojo tremantene enu abi na baba to baomia
asama ba ene senko o se ene kan abra bo be say you
enu abi na baba to baomia because the reason me can say enu abi na baba to baomia no sabe baomia ba party ni mu ncheye
sa
ye kan mo se ma ye nka party na baomia oba mu na ncheye but oba mu since 2008 aye peja ode ba party ni mu no sabe wo wanya nyema bebre wanya nyema chom but ene ye kan wo si o na nyansa ni ditao na manfo ka se ebi mu oska but wo nya hwe ya me de ye Baumia ene ne nkrofo se Baumia so o nya hwe na since 2008 to 2016 na party ye nanado dankwa ene kenoforiata no mutia neka asema me ke minimum na meka
na opposition no
ye to opposition ye Baumia me se me de no say since 2008 to 2016 na yera kenoforiata etu Baumia
oh and yamisha kenoforiata and then crofodi na temi
and yera kenoforiata obia so ya na oboni dimboni na Baumia mu nyina akra amafo ebo kenoforiata dimboni nya Baumia shechiri
nanso na otua oka
Baumia shechiri
Kennedy so oba onje ketua ono abeto no convoy Baumia so to opposition oye running mate no je ketua ene so be president akatua obesia ji
obeje
asem na akache Ghana for
yera Kennedy Japan asem bia yera Kennedy Japan wakana no kwai because papa ni minim no na ana beka so papa e de ondo nipa o ben de pa na obo so papa we nipa pa na de meka ache delegate any MPP for ana Ghana for the Ghana for eka ene say ye de yera Kennedy Japan ba ombeto abama NPP ama MPP winning 2028 election but the make ache delegate for ne say delegate for yanko MPP yenye 50+1
oh dabi
MPP yenye 50+1 I say Ghana for aba be kan once na yenye 50+1 na Ghana for eka say MPP for mutimi de yera Kennedy Japan ba ombeto aba ama yen
okay
mesansre polling station executives eno mo yi mo ho ache se mo yi adwuma ma yera Kennedy Japan mesra mo polling station executives bia de media dia me de bia me ko be bia me kan se o de polling station executive bia target nipa miensa ana nipa 9
okay
ma yera Kennedy Japan
police station executive bia amfa
nipa miensa
okay
o nipa police station executive no sanfa nipa miensa kan wa ba be yan ma 9
okay
etu ye for na that means say o letter area na 15 na o letter area na 15 times 5 obenya 80 na the 4 we 4 times 5 out on almost 60 and now that means 60 out of 80 no Baumia ne yera editum ene Brian no mo 20 no it me say yeah adwen say be boy yera Kennedy Japan ma ba be diga na enim no mesre yan chases polling station executives for no ye momonti asese Ghana for say ye de yera Kennedy Japan ba on beto aba na mayen because Baumia ye de ne bae ye nya 38.2%
almost 41
amoboa Sir. 38.2%.
Oh, na say who election?
38.2%. Ana make catch it.
And Dr. Tesi
so, and 38.2% ana ye nyae.
Okay.
E bin see one people moda. Enti mesre ese Ghana for esre say Yoruba Canada Japan omope. Delegate mesre mo mesada mensayem esre mo say Muma yembo ye homonia on the 31st of January 2026. Ye kwato aba yenhwe number 1. Number 1 na yenhwe ma yenhwe bebia. Apart from number 1, yen kwato aba na ma Yoruba Canada Japan. Na Ghana ejuma mbra nyagopo adaroma. MPP ayadi bi since 2000. Yoruba kufuo e the free maternity e bai.
Okay. Ana mo won kra ko.
Ayo won kwala na san kwala oni say san kwala so no be benefiting from free SHS.
Okay.
San kwala na Yoruba kufuo e free maternity no omo no be benefiting free SHS.
Na say do no more 16 years.
No more 16 years. 15 16.
Nani omo an.
Ana omo be benefiting from free SHS. And edu nkwala na say free SHS we university but ejuma ni yo. Yoruba mahama ana Ghana for kwakoto abama no Yoruba mahama so yema Ghana for 24-hour economy by the 24-hour economy no udu be bia enye adwuma by yenim de Yoruba ken ohene Japan obetimi aye o meye president here but o work so over 7,000 o meye president here but nyama o ye bo Ghana ano edoso me who politician ni o Ghana ha Sabi, what be a Jumati say Yoruba Canada Japan?
I see.
The person, politician, you be there, me say, oh, Juma, and our father can see Yoruba Canada Japan. Oh, Ghana. So I just enter Sapa Pay, Yankopon, I shall say, Ombre Medi Ghana, so, Mesre delegate. As a delegate for no. Everywhere, among Conco to Abama Yoruba Canada Japan. Now, Domna Yankopon, their domon, oh, Jumum, Bieno, Omo school, and Oma Sabi, Omo Timian school. But omo ye juma mbe no Nyankopon ka papa ya kuma no be di ade na wetimi aboa Ghana for ama njuma ba because and then America we been job akwanto ne yetubi okwa amano ne a aban juma ska bi enim ba Ghana hanko na aban juma ska wom adenti na kwala bi kwa kope police ni soja obi timi gi ni 18,000 ni 20,000
and you only so we are and the security is assured.
What you say? But se krobeni a a private industrialization building a crew. Only private investors are. Omo no bet me aba okuro because omo na aba beji omo tax. Now the oma and etumpon. But some private investors for no. Omo ni gidi o leader bi am omo mba. Because me ni gidi o mo ya na di misika be bu o man. What you say? But me o ekuro ni gidi o mo a leader na odi kuro ni nim no. Woni ni hu gidi a o mba. What you say? But so wo gidi o leader ni mu a obeba. What you say? And then Oko Dubai ni Malaysia. Malaysia and Ghana nya the same independence.
I see.
But then the baby Malaysia do Ghana yendu hoye. Reason is say leader no mafano. Leader no a pragmatic leader. Ghana ha ya fa lawyer, ya fa communicator, ya fa teacher.
Okay.
Omo nyina Kusi aga. Omo baba be yebi. But then do say businessman. Yoruba Canada Japan. Ono so yemfa ma no. Na yenhwe. Ba me de me oni mu gidie. Eso betime win election.
All right. Me pacho you bet o number na ye invite o e wo TikTok no so. Na oni delegate ne Ghana fu nyina so asan dey. Akasa bim na bra wo koyi last words na wa chia do force so.
All right.
Kwa hansa na share TikTok no.
All right. Me the American say delegate Emre Nason we de me fa Yoruba Steven Tim moto bia ye fa de boa no say time aso time Nason ese MPP yetimi ebeji Ghana si wo 2028 na time na aso ni nyina say yentimi yi Yoruba Canada Japan dia yen forget 2028 but say yi Yoruba Canada Japan ye campaign che
o say mabunu se mo
because mabunu se yen fa ne mra Embro was a young farmer, a Christopher was a young farmer, a Pepe was a young farmer, a Bosom was a young farmer, and that dainty a delegate for Muntie, a Tiasramo, a delegate for Yasramo Passe. emre so 31st January 2026 ni do a mokwa mamu hwe be bia se number 1 yewura Kennedy Agyapong moto abane ma no na Ghana embe kra behwe ana mefa akonya nso etia MPP mpanifo General mesalutu mechia pa mechia minimum adwuma wo ye mechia pa mechia the treasurer of the National New Patriotic Party mechia ana mechia yewura Kennedy Agyapong bebi a wo bia Nyankopon ema wanwoden no ma otumi na 276 constituency ni nyina wuchi mu no o ma wadom netimi fa ko na Ghana fo entie o eni nduma pa wo ye mesanchia the Ashanti region ahye ne nsa Mr. Mensa ana mesanchia Mr. Frimpong mechia mu nyina medamase.
All right, Chama. Yes, you that. Now, if I TikTok handles, now we be so follower.
All right, my TikTok handle is Honorable. Yeah. Honorable HON.KYEI.
All right.